Alright, sorry. I started stream and I was like, you know what? I need to use the restroom. What up, Mike? Kit? What's going on, guys? Alright. Alright, who do we grab for this? Do we just grab, insane players? We kind of want to lust. Unlucky. I don't really want to play with the shaman. Shamans are gross. We'll grab a hunter. Fuck it. Yo, what's up, Griffin? Finally making a stream. That's huge. We will attack some Eco Dome. Been a YouTube follower for a while, somehow never caught a stream. It's, Twitch is a weird site. Unless you're on Twitch a lot, but if you're not on Twitch a lot, then it's kind of hard to. I also don't have a good stream schedule. Love watching you, but in the off time, I'm trying to find a good hunter to watch. You got one. Yeah, Banchers. Banchers is insane. Banchers is very good, and he streams on, I think he streams on both Twitch and YouTube, and he also posts all his VODs, all his runs, it's all good stuff. My vault this week was kind of, it wasn't great, but it's not the end of the world. How was your vault? For single target on Master of Harmony, do I just spam Celeste brews for harmonic surge procs? Yes. Yeah. Great Route videos, thank you for that. Yeah, no problem. No problemo. You don't have 4-piece? Oh, that's unlucky. Well, at least next week you should for sure have 4 set, because you'll get another catalyst charge, and then at that point you'll have 4 catalyst charges, and if you don't have 4 set after that, I don't know what to tell you. You messed up somewhere. You got a Mythic Trek Arakar weapon. Oh, I'm so jealous. Most seasons I have taken for granted. Most seasons I end up like getting the craziest vaults. Normally I'm very geared very early. And for some reason this season I got nothing. Like all my vaults have been really bad. Like I'm not wearing most of the gear I've taken from vaults. I've taken them to save crests on hero track upgrades. Don't get me wrong, I have like they're sitting in my bags, I'll use them eventually, but normally I get their weapons, I get the trinkets, and I've just been lucky. And this time around, oddly enough, I even have a second monk to try to fish for better gear, and both my monks are still kind of like mid. Maybe that was the mistake. You normally best weapons first couple weeks, and this season, not really? Yeah, exactly. Your route tip and trick video is legendary, PS Vault, past 2 weeks, Pacemaker, and Tome Mythic. Dude, you're making me want to cry. That's insane. I'm not too shaken up about trinkets, though, because we have confirmed Dinars coming back, so... It's nice getting them early, but it's at least nice knowing that we will eventually have them anyways, so... Soleil's and trinket from here. The trinket from here is not bad. Yeah, the myth weapon's for sure better. Because I don't know if you're going to be able to buy the Arakar weapon from the vendor. It is a cantrip effect, but last season there were... I don't think there were... Actually, I don't know if there were, but you weren't able to buy any weapons. You did get the boots from Raid, though? Oh, that's so nice. I unluckily don't have any of the boots yet. And my guild is prioing, I think, everyone but tanks, because tanks in Raid, they don't really benefit that much. Also work, cheers, yeah. Peace out, mate. Yeah, the boots, unfortunately, aren't as strong as... They're very good at Mythic Plus, but, like... The Raid team prios Raid performance. I hate when people start... How does... Never mind. That's my healer who has threat, somehow. It's just heroic boots because they're not a raider. I mean, heroic boots are still good. Like, honestly, any of the boots are good. Even if you can get them on LFR, 20% more healing from that cloak is good. This warlock is fucking pumping, bro.
It's like my Uncle Kagi once said, with great power comes great big booty bitches.
Yo, Squeezy, thanks so much for the sub, man. Hopefully you're having a good day. I hate these little mites. Just saw Gambit video. The intro made you laugh. Yeah, I was recording it, and I just like fucking... I was about to say like told a gore or some shit, and I was like, holy fuck. English much? Yeah, but that brand trinket, man, holy cow. If you can get that shit on LFR... I normally don't like when raid trinkets are uber broken, but buddy, holy... Like, I'm super chill with a trinket from, like, a mid-raid boss, which isn't hard, by the way. Like, Soul Hunters on any difficulty outside of Mythic is, like, super free, in my opinion. Unlucky. I don't know why that hunter was sitting so far away. Yeah, it's super nice. And so like it should be pretty easy for most players to access, and it's so good that you would run it on a lower quality. So even if you're someone who doesn't raid at all, just like pug it once on heroic or normal and then just wait for dinars. I hate that the boots though are like they're very good for Mythic Plus, but they're not good for raid, and it sucks that I'm gonna have to like wait probably a couple more weeks before I get them on any of my tanks. At least I'm assuming I'm not gonna get them on any of my other characters. I think we have 3 leather healers in the raid who are gonna get them before me, so there's no way we see all those leather boots drop tonight. You thought, oh yeah, never mind. I didn't read that. It's really weird. So Brand of Ceaseless Ire got buffed even after live servers were up. Like it's, I think, I don't know, man, because it's weird. Their philosophy is like we're gonna make trinkets bad for tanks, so they're incentivized to run like defensive trinkets, which at that point you just still run damage trinkets at a 30% loss, and then they make brand. Like brand exists. And so it's like, it's almost like Blizzard is like walking this weird line where they don't want tanks to do a lot of damage with trinkets, but then they make a tank trinket designed for doing damage, and I'm fine with it. When do you clear Stagger? You generally want to clear it frequently. Like right now I'm sitting on both my Purifying Brew charges because I'm like in green Stagger, but you want to purify enough where you're still generating celestial or purified chi stacks. So when you do use Celestial Brew or Celestial Infusion, that it's at least has a little bit of oomph to it. And so I would say roughly every 8 seconds, or when you're in deep Stagger. It's kind of like both, if that makes sense. Love the YouTube stream. Thanks, dude. I'm trying to I need to figure out YouTube a little bit more. Streaming on YouTube, because I'm still a novice at it. Like, I need a thumbnail. That's a big one. Maybe I can find a way to like have some type of like audio besides just my voice. There's music on Twitch, but on YouTube I just insta get banned if I try to play music. I'm playing Master of Harmony. Yeah, this is my alt tank, and my alt tank is like, I've kind of made it like strictly a Master of Harmony tank, which is kind of odd, but it's fun. Like it's essentially I have two Brewmasters. One's for Shadowpan and one is for Master of Harmony. I don't like swapping, so I'd rather just swap characters. That's probably the biggest misconception.
Like my Uncle Kagi once said, with great power comes great big booty bitches.
Yo, Riftish, thanks so much for the sub. Appreciate you. The biggest misconception about Brewmaster is that you don't purify until you're in deep Stagger, which couldn't be further from the truth. You do want to purify often. This healer, man, this healer's a bozo. Why is that Farstalker so far away? Why am I out of range of this mob? What am I targeting? Oh, I'm targeting the Sentinel now. There we go. Song's a banger, though. Oh, yeah. This whole playlist is a banger. I might be a little biased, because it's, you know, my playlist, but... If I have 32% verse without Verse Flask, should I use Crypt Flask instead? Yeah. I would just use Verse Flask. Yeah, you're already hitting a DR. Like, I mean, you can use a Verse Flask. It's just, you're probably going to get more value out of using a Crit or Mastery Flask at that point. How else do we get Translog? We gotta have 2 monks? Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I already have, like, the complete sets. You know what you hate when you enter a dungeon, everybody in the group's highest stat is haste for your Solays? Yeah, I mean, that's just... It's like the worst part about Solays. Unless you're running with like an outlaw rogue or something, you're most likely gonna get really bad stats for Brew. There's some classes that stack mastery, which can be okay, but you're rarely gonna find anything else. This hunter's eating shit. Please kill the sentinel. Please kill it. Okay. Nice, and the hunter finally made it back. Burn rate is wild. Took you 13... Took 13 mythic lashes on Mythic Soulbinder? Yeah, sounds about right. Stagger's broken. There's a reason why Brewmaster has such like a high survivability rate compared to every other tank in raid. Stagger's broken. You've seen a few crit stackers? Yeah, there's like a few. I think like BM Hunter stacks crit, or maybe it's Marks or something. I feel like one of the lock specs goes for crit too. I don't know. I normally see like Mastery Haste, or like the top, normally like the top 2 stacks. I mean, I just don't use Solays, so easy solution. I'm just like sitting on my cow. Let me just send it, I guess. Arsham is crit haste, yeah, especially if they're playing Farseer. Which I think a lot of people are doing because of its damage. You have 8 at 80. Most are 685. Can't play anything else and have fun. Monks? You have that many monks? Holy shit. You're insane. I am not playing good right now. I just like saying cow. I think cow's funny. Like, if you get ran down by an ox in real life, like in real life context, that makes sense, right? An ox is a big, dirty creature. If you got beat up by a cow, buddy, you're silly. I also like saying cow because it pisses so many people off. There's so many times I'll like say cow in a video and people are like, "Rah, it's not a cow, it's an ox." Like, shut up, nerd. This bovine creature. You work in a hospital. We have a workstation on wheels that we used to call computer on wheels. Turn patients out there, we're calling them cow. That's so funny, actually. COW. That's actually so good. I'm talking about David, yeah. I think people call it Dave to be funny, but I think calling it cow is equally, if not more funny. Just want to say thanks for all the brew content. Yeah, no problem. I love brew and I love talking about brew, so it's a big vibe. Oh man. What do you think, why is the low brew plays on Raider IO? Wait, huh? Why do you think is low... Why am I taking so much damage? Am I bad? Hold on, I'll read that in a second. Oh, low popularity? That would make sense. Yeah, low. It's always low pop. That would explain why I'm scared. He just typed out raid build in party chat. Low brew plays on radar. People are trying to discourage you from playing brew. Nah, don't let them. They're fucking idiots. Brew's super fun. It's very good right now. I think it's a little bit more beginner friendly than it has been in the past, just due to like things like Zen State, Celestial Infusion. There's still like common mistakes that people make by like not hitting Purifying Brew, for example. Like that's a real big mistake I see all the time. People won't hit Purifying Brew until they have like deep stagger, and you definitely don't want to play like that. I think Brew though is super good right now. It's not prop warrior or prop paladin, but it's very, very good. I think I'm short count, but that's fine. You miss Resonant Fists? I mean, we essentially have Resonant Fists back with Walk with the Ox. Walk with the Ox is essentially what Resonant Fist used to be. It's like I mean, the thing is, Resonant Fist used to do damage on like all damage events, but I mean, you're getting like free AoE damage just by hitting stuff. Okay, that lock can suck a dick. Why are you hitting mobs before more groups? Hello? Yep, there he is. Get in here, Mr. Lock. There you go. I see one mob, let me just start fucking railing with Chaos Bolts. When Yoda's actually playing Brew, it's good, yeah. Yeah, and Yoda's like kind of not super great at Brew, so the fact that he's able to do good keys is good. I see one mob, let me start fucking spamming. Let me spam Chaos Bolts. It's like, shut up, dude, please. I'm just complaining to complain. It's fine. Yeah, and I think the changes to Brew just is like it like has made it feel better in a lot of ways. Part of that is just Celestial Infusion. Part of it's like Zen State. You take a lot less damage when you're at lower health, so it's kind of like easy. You've been trying to on your Pugs do Physcomp for fun. The melee DPS are worse with it. Well, there's not a lot of melee like Phys classes out there, and some of them like aren't tuned really well. And then on top of that, like you can't just be like bad at your class. I don't know. Physcomp's generally pretty good, but I wouldn't worry. It's not as predominant this season. I don't know. Like last season it was good because it made good DPS like insane, and now it kind of makes bad DPS good, and so you're just better off than fighting better DPS. I don't know. Yeah, Fizz comp players are kind of a little bit more, a little dull, I would say. It's the Warriors, I'm guessing. You could just say Warriors. You don't have to beat around the bush. Yep. They're like, oh my god, check it out, I can Blade Storm. And then they just die immediately, and they're like, tank, aggro. Then they start pinging you. It's like, dude, shut up. Sometimes you just gotta let DPS die to taking damage. They'll learn. It always blows my mind because if DPS just wait for 2 seconds, they will do infinitely more damage when a tank gets everything grouped. And this is a little fun fact that a lot of people don't seem to know. You do more damage when you're alive. I know that's kind of crazy. That is a crazy concept. But if you can stay alive you'll do more damage. Who would have thunk? It's kind of wild. Fake news, yeah. Last question, how do you handle groups that don't even interrupt bolts? They just die. I don't know. You can do what you can with, like, CCs and stuff, but at the end of the day, if they're not going to interrupt, they're just, like, people are going to die. Just gotta live with it. Oh, healer. So, I've been playing... I currently, and thankfully, I have a good buddy named Nama, who got me access to, like, the closed Fellowship beta that's currently going on. And for those who don't know who Fellowship is, it's basically, like, a mixture of League of Legends and WoW Mythic Plus is, like, the best way I can describe it. It's literally just, like, dungeon progression. Very good. I really like how the... Yeah. Yeah, its Fellowship looks insane. I'm hoping... It's actually so insane that it's probably the first game I'm going to make content on that's not WoW related. I'm a very big fan. I didn't get to play it the first time it came out, but I've been able to play it a lot the last couple days, and holy cow, man, the way that they do threat in that game is so good. And it's not even that complex. It's literally just like the first person who pulls a mob has increased threat. And it's good. And tanks do damage. And so like when you have like CDs and shit and you pop stuff as a tank, like you're competing with damage dealers, which means you're just gonna have threat naturally. I just really like how they do threat in that game. Miko's essentially a Brewmaster, yeah. I honestly haven't even played that champion. I was playing the prot warrior / paladin. I don't remember her name, Helena or something like that. Not gonna lie, I saw that they like rated the difficulty of the champion, and they gave the one tank like 1 star and the other tank 4, and I was like, I'm gonna play the one with 1 stars because I have a very low IQ. And essentially, it's like a prot paladin mixed with prot warrior from WoW. Like it's pretty sick. You like chuck your shield at shit, and then you just like thunderclap. I'm a very big fan. Yeah, I was told that it's basically just like a combo class, and that sounds super interesting to me. I need to give it a shot, but... Oh, there's a lock gate. Yeah, it's just 1 star brain. I'm a 1 star brain kind of guy. Is the new DPS in the beta you're in? Yes. Yeah, there's a couple of new DPS classes, and I think it's just new DPS. I think the healers are and the tanks are the same. I didn't play the first like open beta testing or alpha whatever it was considered because I think at the time the PTR had just started for 11.1, and so I was obviously focused on doing like WoW content and doing Mythic Plus testing and shit. And so I never played the other Fellowship version, but everyone else I knew went hard. Rhyme and the Assassin, right? I honestly couldn't tell you. I did not pay enough attention because I didn't really care about the damage dealers. I was just like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna just play some tanks and see, get a feel for it. Oh, I'm dumb. That was close. Yeah. Remember the NDA? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm allowed to talk about it, and if not, it's fine. I'm not making content on it. I'm not playing it on stream. Thanks for the pug friendly routes. You've had a decent success rate with it? Hell yeah. Yeah, I originally like I did them last season, the route videos and stuff. Whatchamacallit. Um and I did them like really early in the season. This time around I didn't get to test PTR that much due to like other obligations. I was just like busy. And so I was originally not gonna do route videos, and then I kept getting questions about it. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do it. I feel bad that they're like so late into the season. Like we're already a month in almost, but better late than never, I guess. I also plan on doing maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna do another tips and tricks video because there's a lot that I forgot to mention in the other one. You didn't try the priest healer. You got to try it next time. Yeah, they all look good. I know nothing about any of the other specs. Way more people need to use your Arakara pug route. Yeah, I agree. I get really I don't pug Arakar for that reason. I know I should be using web. I'm not really playing optimally. I see so many keys get bricked there. Which is a shame because I don't mind Arakara as a dungeon, but I hate the success rate of it. Because like what I'll do is like if I'm the tank, right, I have control, and what I'll do is I'll stop at the bottom of the stairs, and then DPS start pinging me, and they're like, "What do you? Why, we're stopping here." Then they're like, not they like refuse to do damage, and I'm just like, "Please, just kill the mobs." Or like DPS will just start running ahead and they'll pull. Sorry, one second. I'm just like, yeah, and like, or people will run ahead and like they'll start like they'll like start tagging the casters ahead, and then they'll just wipe it because they're frustrated because the tank didn't run all the way. And I'm just like, dude, you're gonna like you just wipe, and then everyone fucking slash like they slash abandon the key like a minute in. I'm like, guys, the timer's not that tight in Arakara. You're farming sack brood. Why are you making it more complicated? Its healing feels much better than WoW. I wouldn't know. I don't think I did a high enough content to really know. It looks a little bit slower paced, so. Do you want to know what Equinox is up to? No, I'm not close with Equinox. He has been playing. He doesn't stream. I think I know in season 1 or maybe it was season 2, I don't remember. He got a lot of there's a lot of drama on like in the Twitter space. But I think he's if I can spell how do you spell Equinox? Am I dumb? He's been playing on his Paladin. It's a shame because he's a good player, right? And a lot of people watch the stream. Like, that's one thing that I always noticed was like, he normally had a pretty popular stream, but he got a lot of flack on the internet. But also, my opinion, don't really care. I just thought it was weird that they were posting that kind of stuff on X. And then they would like double down when there was like backlash about it. They would like double down on it. It's like, just stop, man. Like, can you explain how to use Tome Trinket effectively? Yeah, so essentially it's like a stance. So there's two stances. You have the sword stance and the shield stance. You want to be in the sword stance. So when you're in the sword stance, you get 3,000 crit, for example, and you like get damage procs. When you're in the shield stance, you get like a magic absorb and some armor or something. I don't remember. So you want to sit in the sword stance, and then when it flops to the shield at 50 stacks, you use the trinket to flop back to the sword. We'll get a big evoker in here. Yeah, it's a shame though. It's a shame he doesn't stream and stuff anymore. Because I know a lot of people liked watching him. Learned Brew from your content and his. Yeah, he was really good at the streams. He also did like a really good guide write-up each season in like a Word document, which was always really nice. I think his like YouTube video content was always a little stale, but still good. Stand Atlantic is good. Yeah, big fan. What key is this at? 13. And drop this down to a 12. We'll go blast real quick. Yeah, I would go to Wago and just look up the trinket. And you should be able to find a bunch that are really good. Ultimately, you could just let the trinket do its thing. You never have to use it and it's fine, but if you want to optimize its damage, it's good to like swap. Do I do things differently on the human versus the night elf? Not really. The only major difference is on human I can like eat a stun and then just remove it versus night elf where I have access to meld. I just wanted something a little different than night elf for one of my monks. Good shroud. Good tricks. Damn, we deleted that shit so quick. You've been learning Brew and it's overwhelming. Content helps a lot. I'm glad it's helpful. Yeah, it's definitely an overwhelming tank, but when you start getting into the nuances of like every single class, I think every class will feel overwhelming. But practice makes perfect. And sometimes you're like me and practice doesn't make perfect and you're still bad at the class, but you know? Here we go. Oh. And that. Bang. Pow. I'm sitting in many puffer fishes. I hate murlocs. I miss like old binding shot where mobs would just get rooted for 8 seconds instead, and it wouldn't break on damage. The good old days. My favorite part about having a rogue in the group is not getting tricks. DH's name has given you a chuckle. Yeah, this is Dunktown. It's his weird alt. He has a lot of weird character names. It's funny, though. Unlucky. Here we go. Going on the boss is fucking crazy. Bam. Holy shit. So weird that I have to like click this twice. Being a Tauren monk is kind of interesting. Bam. Alright, nice. We're golden. Am I just out of range perma? Oh no, okay. You love your Volpira monk, but can't see myself in group content and it ruins it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are quite tiny then. Do. Yep, that's what you do. Yep, pull threat because you're an evoker, and then run away from the tank. It's good stuff. Insane tech. Good thing I have this insane leech neck. Really allowing me to pump here. I think I'm gonna boost a third monk with my 80 boost. By playing on 4K, why does game look so smooth? I'm not sure. I'm definitely not playing on 4K. I just, I don't know, maybe it's just my settings. It's funny because, like, I don't think my game looks smooth. I think it looks normal, but why would you even need a third monk? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know what else to boost, though. I just, like, have an AD boost that's sitting around. I kind of want to try to do, like, a little challenge where I, like, my third monk I only play using, like, the one-button rotation. And see, like, how bad it is, you know? It's more of a meme at this point. One button, no CDs. Yeah. Just insane shit. Greetings from North Africa. Holy shit. Big greetings. Yeah, big shout. All viewers here like you, and thanks for your effort for Brewmaster Monk community. Big W, let's go. Thanks for stopping in. How focused should I be on purified cheese stacks? You don't really have to think about it too much, in my opinion. If you're naturally purifying during combat, you should automatically have like high purified cheese stacks when you need it. So it's not really something you have to worry about too much. How's the APM on Brew? My wrist can't handle Prot Warrior Paladin. It's probably up there. It's not as fast-paced because your globals are locked, because you're an energy-based class. They're 1 second GCD, regardless of haste. You do have an off-the-global cooldown ability through Purifying Brew, but you're not hitting it often enough where... Like, unlike Prot Warrior, where you're hitting Ignore Pain every, like, 2 seconds. Not even, like, every second, it feels like. It's probably a little bit better than Prot Paladin and Prot Warrior, but it's not that much better. I've heard that Evoker's really good for people who struggle with, like, APM. But if you're looking for a tank, I would say, I don't know. Guardian Druid's not bad because you can macro Iron for into other abilities and just hit your core rotation and it'll be fine, but tanks have this weird thing where they have a lot of off-the-global cooldown abilities because they're a tank and they need it. Yeah, Monk doesn't feel as frantic. I think that's a good way to put it. You've watched all my videos, big fan. Just wanted to say thank you for the job. Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, cheers, mate. I appreciate you stopping by the stream and letting me know. That's so sick. Oops. Well, we're just praying that... Hopefully I can kill this pulsar in time. Yo. Huge. Flixie, thanks so much for the gifted subs, man. You're an absolute fucking legend. 20. Holy shit, dude. I hope you're having, like, the most insane day. Now drink water, dude. How'd you know? Thanks so much, Loki Toki. I appreciate it. All the kind words. That's so funny. Yeah, Blood Decay does have pretty low APM spam. You could feel the dehydration. Is it in the way I speak? It's probably in the way I speak. Yeah. Off to bed, good night. Dude, have a great night, man. I really appreciate it. I will drink plenty of water. No, you're right, dude. I don't think I've drank water in like 3 days. Though technically there's water in coffee, so... We got that going for us, I guess. I don't think that's healthy either, man. That is, you're not wrong, Trevor. I will drink some water after this. Love all the resources on the channel and the Discord. Your Patreon has a lot enjoying getting better at Brew. Oh, huge. I'm glad to hear it's my resources help. One thing I've been looking at doing too is I want to have like a suggestions channel for people to ask for specific things. And maybe I can add more resources to the channel. Even as BDK, route analysis is super helpful. Huge. I'm glad it's all helpful content. That's the goal. It's always the goal. Okay, we have a break. I can now drink some water. Sorry if that was loud. Just realized that was right in the mic. Oh man, my healer's such a troll, dude. Health bar with the overflow shield is clutch. I like it a lot. Why am I running out? I don't need to. You can tell this evoker's never played mid before. He keeps trying to inch to the edge. Oh no. Is there a way to make the weak core in the middle? Yeah. There's a way to make it larger. I can show you after this. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You just select the entire weak aura package if you have it. Yeah, you select the group tab at the top, which should be the first thing it goes into, but sometimes it doesn't. And you just can scale it up. Bang. Oh, healer, I'm dying. It's all good. I am also a weak aura noob. Nice. Your logs show you have a bad habit that has been hard to break. I often hit Blackout Kick TP, but I hit Purifying Brew between and eat the combo. Yeah. That is one of the most common mistakes that I'll see when I'm doing like log reviews or VOD reviews, is that players have a tendency to do that. And I do too. And some of the top Brewmaster players, and it's a very hard habit to break. And sometimes it's not even a habit, but you're gonna hit the global cooldown ability, off the GCD ability, sometimes at the worst possible time, which happens to be after a blackout kick. So the best thing that you can do is try to be like, when you go into a raid fight or when you go into a key, even if it's a weekly key, like I just came into this like weekly 10 or whatever, 12. And instead of focusing on your damage or on survivability or routing or whatever, go into a key and just make it a focus to be hyper aware that every time you blackout kick, to not hit Purifying Brew. It's just practice. It's kind of to break that kind of mental, you have to just practice it. And going into a key or a raid fight with that mindset will help break that habit. The cast sequence macro is super nice for it because you're just, you know, in your head, after I hit my one button, like my keybinds on one, my blackout kick, once I hit my number one keybind, I'm gonna hit that again until I successfully like fulfill that with a Tiger Palm, right? So I know it's 1-1, then I can Purifying Brew. Same with Rising Sun Kick. 1 or 2-2 Purifying Brew. I will say that this cast sequence macro isn't like the saving grace. I think good Brewmaster players should try to not use the macro. I use it, but I know there's performance issues, and I've accepted that there's going to be performance issues when you're playing with the cast sequence macro because sometimes, based on your inputs, it might not work. Like, there's times where I'm on a raid fight and I have nothing to hit, and I have a potential surge damage. And it's like, I don't have a keybind for Tiger Palm. So if I like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, well, I have energy. I have nothing else to hit, but I can't hit this ability because I don't have a bound because I've made that choice actively. But I will say this, it's not that bad because, you know, it clearly is good enough to work, right? Like, I mean, I'm doing things on these bosses. I think I run out more on Plexus, and then Soulbinder, we do a weird strat where we don't get to hit ads, but it's clearly effective. So, cast sequence macros, there is a small damage loss, but I would say that unless you're like trying to go for a 100 percentile, I wouldn't care about it. Just go PTA. Yeah, facts. Holy shit. I didn't think of that. Never thought about it. Also, sorry, Dom, I missed your question earlier about the Lily trinket. It's not bad. For Shadowpan specifically. You can also use it as Master of Harmony. The only problem is that if you're playing Shadowpan, it's going to come up. The trinket will be available after your CD, so you kind of have to sit on your CD for a second. Sequence with 2 reset helped a lot, but you're trying to get rid of it now, so it's hard. Never even made a vid. Yeah, it's because it ended up not working as good as I thought. And I'm still like in the process of, if I do a video, I want to farm like more haste gear. So still working on gearing. Yeah, but Lily's good. I think if you're trying to get an unused trinket, and this is hard to do because you're competing with all of the DPS in the raid. But in the raid, you have, I believe it's Fractillus. You have the unyielding Nether Prism. This trinket is really, really strong to pair with Weapons of Order, and it lines up regardless. So the cast sequence macro I'm talking about, oops. It's probably going to be hard to see unless you're on a computer monitor. If you're on your phone, it might be hard to read this. So it's cast sequence. It's a reset of 1 second on Blackout Kick, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm. And so what this means is when you cast Blackout Kick, it's then going to replace Blackout Kick with Tiger Palm for 1 second after casting Blackout Kick. And then if you cast Tiger Palm again within the 1 second, it's going to stay as Tiger Palm for another second, and then it's going to reset back to Blackout Kick. And so what this allows you to do is, if you're following Blackout Kick with the Tiger Palm, you can just hit the same macro or the same keybind twice in a row, and then you can ignore it and it'll reset back to Blackout Kick before the cooldown is up. You can do the same thing with Rising Sun Kick. I have it set to a reset of 6. Tome is better for pure damage, but if you're looking at Mythic Plus and you're trying to find a trinket that pairs with Weapons of Order, Nether Prism's your best bet because it's a cooldown that'll fluctuate with your Weapons of Order CD, because the CD fluctuates, right? When you're playing Chi Surge, it's getting reduced by 4 seconds per target hit. And then when you play Shadowpan, your efficient training is every 50 energy, it's reduced by 1 second. So if you're, like, I would say in larger pulls, I don't know, more than 5 targets, your cooldown's going to be about a minute 20, and there's no trinket that lines up with a minute 20. In single target, it's closer to like 140. And so, like, yeah, Lily's great for that, but if you're ever in a Mythic Plus run, you're going to have to, like, sit on your cooldown and wait for the trinket if you want it to pair together, so it's just awkward. And there's no good on-use 1-minute CD trinkets. The only one that's good is Unyielding Nether Prism, because it's a 20-second CD and you gain stacks every couple seconds. And then it's going to give you a massive amount of agility. I wouldn't say, though, Nether Prism is good for Raid. Like, in Raid, you want to run, like, just Tome Ceaseless Brand. Or Ceaseless Ire. What's the other macro? It's just Rising Sun Kick, and it's the same thing. What the issue is that it's desync from these. Dezao doesn't matter. You don't want to use Weapons of Order and your cow at the same time. You don't gain double benefit by using both of the cooldowns. Oh, the Weapons of Order macro? It's nothing. It's using different potions or weapons or trinkets if I have them equipped. So that's all this is. This doesn't matter. This is just like your standard CD. No, you don't benefit from double stomp. Only one cow stomps. And only one cow is taking the stagger for you. Unless it's changed, but for the longest time, that's how it worked. You don't benefit from having 2 cows active. So what you want to do is you want to use the Weapons of Order, which will proc your cow, your Call to Arms. You have this for 12 seconds, and then once this cow fades, then you pop this, and it's like a staggered effect. You've Lily and Vault and 2 one-handed weapons. You're cursed. Oh. Lily's not bad. It's just not a thing I would use in the future. How do you use Tome properly? Or correctly? So there's 2 stances to it. You have this stance here. This is like the battle stance, which grants you a ton of crit. You'll see the buff here. It's giving me 3,000 crit. And your attacks have a chance to inflict holy damage. Now, every time you inflict that damage, your stacks are going to go up. Or is it taking damage? I can't remember. I think it's taking damage. Basically, your stacks are going to go all the way up to 50. And then once you hit 50, it's going to swap to a defensive stance, which is going to give you like a magic absorb plus armor. Now, the magic absorb plus armor is pretty bad in terms of overall value. So once it swaps to the book or the shield, whatever you want to call it, you're going to click the trinket, which will put you back in the battle stance and resetting your stacks back to 1. And so you want to try to stay in the sword icon. I could have sworn both cows stomp, but maybe you're wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but basically ever since I've started playing Brewmaster and my testing on PTR generally concluded this, unless it was bugged, is that having your cows active at the same time, actually, you only benefit from one. When you purify, it'll only have one of the cows stomping. I mean, the only benefit of having the 2 cows active is that the other one's also auto-attacking, which is obviously nothing when you look at the breakdown of the damage that your cow does. Where is my cow? Here it is. Oh, it's pretty low because I'm not using it often in that run. The melee is obviously nothing. And so the way you want to generally do it is you want to stagger it out a little bit. No pun intended. It's and again, this is assuming that I'm correct about this, and I'm 92% sure. Because I've seen Drogovid, and I think he was saying how he was doing crazy damage in Weapons of Order windows plus the extensions. He might be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure he's incorrect, but Now I'm curious. What's the best way to test this? Yeah. I mean, I'm a big believer in regardless of the damage, benefiting both or not. Um you should hold. And it's only 12 seconds and it's actually it's good this way because what ends up happening is that your weapons of order last for roughly 30 seconds, give or take. Maybe I can explain this with paints. That's what we'll do. So if this is the timeline, I'm gonna do this. So let's say this is the combat timeline of like 40 seconds. 40 seconds. There we go. Your weapons of order you'll pop on pull. So you're going to use woe. And your first cow will last the first 12 seconds. And by the time you hit this point, you should now have 4 stacks of your buff. And then your remaining Nizao it'll be plus 25, so it should last essentially to the end of your weapons of order window every single time. So this is your actual cow. So this is fake cow, this is real cow in a 40-second pull. And that means when you summon your real cow, you should have 4 stacks, which means you're doing 32% more damage with your real cooldown. And this is just like your fake cow is like basically like a little precursor. It helps you get set up. It's going to give you a little bit more damage, obviously, with the stomp cast you do happen to use during your weapons of order. And then once that happens, you can go into like a Black Ox Brew kind of damage dump where you purify, reset, purify. It's unclear based on Drogo's videos. His first video says double stomp works. Then in his second video says the correct way of doing it is what Sha says. That's what I thought. Because, I mean, essentially, at least since I started playing Brewmaster, it was always the case that your main cow doesn't, like, you don't get the double benefit. You can't double dip, it doesn't stomp. Basically, one of your oxes will take the command. So when you purify, it's just like it's sending it to like cow number 1 instead of cow number 2. Which I think is smarter because it actually spreads out your damage. Like if it did work like that and was super bursty, I think it's dumb. It's also clunky to like pop weapons and then try to pop your cow because they're both on the global. I don't know. It just makes sense to me. Yeah, and also popping off at like 20 mil, 25 mil, 30 mil. I saw a video of, I forgot who, I actually don't even know who it was. Because I've peaked at like 30. I think the highest I've peaked so far on weapons is like 32-ish mil, 33. I saw Brewmaster the other day 35. It really comes down to just going into a pull with your shadow proc or like getting a shadow proc on your first wisdom. If your first wisdom is shadow and a big enough pull, oh my god, yeah, you're gonna dump. You're gonna take a dump on the mobs. So yeah. Quick look at top raid logs. Looks like okay. Poof. Yeah, like, obviously with damage amps, it's a little different. But I would say, yeah, generally you want to stagger them out. Again, no pun intended. Which isn't super clear, and I was doing some VOD reviews the other day, actually like 2 nights ago or something. I had like 3 or 4 people I was looking at. And they were all doing the same thing, so I don't know where the information is coming from, or if it's just what people think is optimal without maybe doing research. Which you would think, right? Like, you would think having 2 pets active would yield more damage than having 1 pet active. You're worried Blizzard will put a target cap on shadow damage? I don't think so. I'm not worried because if it was an issue, I feel like you would see Brewmaster damage being significantly higher than every other class. Which is just not the case. Prot Warrior is still doing significantly... Well, I shouldn't say significantly. They're doing like 100k more overall. Did you push some keys last weekend? Any specific route changes on for Brew from 15 onwards? Not really. I could talk about it in a second, actually. Really quick, just a final note here. Yeah, if anything, Prot Warrior is in the line of getting shot in the face. Yeah, so I did some push keys. I will start doing more commentaries here soon. I think I did commentaries. All my commentaries that I did, I think, were from week 1. I did end up pushing here. We're working on Resil 17s right now. So yeah, we're gonna work on some stuff. We were gonna push keys like right now, but our healer had something come up, so we're probably not pushing keys tonight. But yeah, we're gonna get Resil 17 here soon. We just need to roll a Priory and Dawn, and we actually have I think we figured it out. We did a bunch of progression yesterday off stream of our Halls route, so I think we'll be able to get that. Found your channel recently. Keep with the great videos. Thanks, dude. Just out here grinding. So yeah, we just need to roll Dawn. Like, oh wait, no, I'm dumb. We have a Dawn. That's what we rolled yesterday. No, I'm on the wrong monk. I have an 18 Dawn. We're very close to 18 Eco Dome. We actually ended up wiping on second boss to me being dumb. I forgot to pop a defensive on a Rift Claw and just died. So yeah, we'll be good. There was a lot of bugs early in PTR for the cows. Going over your logs from today's raid, I see I fuck up doing too many Tiger Paws without potential energy. It's not a problem to do it without potential energy, but you do want to make sure you're aggressively casting Celestial Infusion or Celestial Brew to make sure that you are utilizing as much potential energy as possible. Tiger Palming by itself is fine. You just want to make sure it's following a blackout kick more often than not, if you can. When it comes to routing, most of the dungeons, actually, we haven't really changed. Like, our Arakara route is still kind of like run it down mid. We are getting to the point now where we feel like we need to adapt our routes. We're now running into the issue where, okay, like, we're kind of close to the timer, or if we want to do this a level higher, we need to, like, be faster, and the only way to get faster is by changing the routes. Obviously, without an influx of gear or crests or whatever it might be. And so I would say the runs that I did commentate over from week 1 are mostly the same. We have workshop our Eco Dome route a little bit here. Also, what's up, CK? Loving the Season 3 Mythic Plus guides? Oh, thanks, dude. Definitely more route videos to come, and then I'm going to continue with commentaries here in the near future once I just want to get some good keys under our belt and make sure that the routes are, like, cool. So Eco Dome, we've actually changed it up quite a bit. We were originally pulling this Sentinel through the wall, but we've actually swapped. Hit the like button for the Go Tank. Oh, thanks, dude. Actual legend. Let's go. We've swapped it up and we've moved this Sentinel off. So the Ecodome and the Noted Google, she really love it. Yeah, I gotta update all my noted routes. I was just made aware that I've been slacking. I thought I did it, and then I gotta add those in there. So I'll do that tonight, probably once I'm done streaming. We pull this pack. We slowly move it onto boss, and we actually pull these destroyers onto boss in our Ecodome 18. We then do this pull here, and then we do a crazy shroud skip where we skip all the way through. So this is obviously, this only works if you're playing with a rogue or a warlock. So like the problem with my commentary videos is that, not even a problem, but like they're just really coded for like pre-made groups. I've started grabbing this ritualist as well for this pull. So we used to skip around the side, and we used to just do this pull here. We now grab this ritualist and elemental, because it's kind of just like free percent. And then we do like creepers into this pack. You're able to skip through here, and you grab this 3-pack, and we just like grab all of this. The end of the route's kind of the same, and then we just grab the stuff on the boss. So our Ecodome route's gotten pretty wild. What's up, Turbo? So I'll make sure to do I'll be posting commentary videos probably closer to this weekend. I have one of my last masterclass series or videos coming out about threat and how to set up pulls. I got a lot planned for like later this weekend, so just keep an eye out for it, I guess. Do you need keys, Turbo? Yeah, it changed a bit. Like, okay, so this changed, like, with the route that I just went over. Like, we did this, like, last night. We did an 18. Again, we failed here, but we failed on second boss. And again, it was literally a me mistake. I pulled some trash without using a defensive, and then I got clapped by the boss from behind. Our Ecodome was 7. Last night it was 13 or 12. We were almost 4 minutes under the timer with our route. And so if you pull up the route here, you'll actually kind of see what we end up doing. So pretty much what I just covered. We pull a bunch on the second boss. We do a big pull here, and then a bunch of count onto the Soul Scribe. It's very good. It's a very good route. No, I mean, you can kick just to get them moving, but if everyone runs past and line of sights, it's super chill, and no one should get one shot by an arcane bolt. So even if it does go off on a player, it's whatever. Chances are they're going to shoot the tank anyways, and your tank will be fine. Or if you are the tank, you should be fine. If you get killed by an arcane bolt, I can send you a link to like a Club Penguin private server, but maybe this game isn't for you. Can't wait for that video. Yeah, it'll be good. Always a rough start. Yeah. What's the difference between Master of Harmony rotation? Just feels like it doesn't click for you. The main difference is that you're just kind of playing at a slower pace. You're not like, you don't want to ever hit spinning crane kick for the most part, outside of like maybe gathering mobs. Your priority actually shifts from what you're probably used to, which is like keg smash, to you just want to make sure you're hitting like blackout kick and tiger palm kind of on cooldown. And it's okay if you end up capping your keg smash charges, because it does so little damage comparatively to like other abilities. Like in larger AoE, like obviously hit it. But the major difference is that you're going to try to prioritize like casting tiger palm and stuff, because you can start to see that like overwhelming force, harmonic surge, and like blackout kick damage ends up being like a hefty portion. I'm still like, I'm obviously, this is training dummies, but Shadowpan's like super aggressive, where you're trying to hit energy spenders as fast as possible. Where with this, you really want to like you're more like buff. It's like buff management, I would say. But for the most part, it's the same. Like it's nothing too crazy. Thanks for the help earlier. Almost time to 15. Feeling a little bit more stable now. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, did you figure out your gear situation? I kind of vibe with the lean bearcat. Cloak, tome and cloak crit. Yeah, if you maintain the offensive stance for your tome, you should have like a lot more crit. It should feel better. %38 crit now. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, once you get brand, that'll be a static amount, and then obviously like it's way better damage. I think my key is. Wait, hold on. Let me just double check because I'm kind of dumb. Ego dome. Okay, we're good. You're sitting on Mythic Tome and Antenna, but I refuse to drop. What difficulty whatsoever? Feels like you're hinting your team. Yeah, you are. No, it's hopefully you get it soon. Worst case scenario, we're gonna get dinars in a couple weeks, and you're just gonna buy it with dinar. And it feels bad, and I empathize with not having it because my Prot Warrior has been missing it as well. Both my Brewmasters have it, and it feels really good. Definitely worth trying to get. Why is 30% the magic number for crit? It's not really a magic number. It ends up coming down to like how the math works for it. Obviously, if you are familiar with our Celestial Fortune passive, how do I, is it, yeah. If you're familiar with the Celestial Fortune passive, so you have a chance equal to your crit to be healed for 70% of the amount. It ends up like, the way that the math works is like, you need it to be a certain percentage of your healing based on the damage you're going to be taking during a key, based on the amount of damage you can stagger. So 30% generally is like a nice safe number. And then the first diminishing return hits at 39%. And so being between 30 and 39 will just feel good. If you have less than 30%, it'll feel like your healer will have to work a little bit harder to dig you out. Your shields and absorbs will be smaller. Your throughput on yourself will be small. It's generally like a feel good number. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I mean, I can try to go into detail on it, but ultimately it's like a good feel good number, and that's just where the math kind of lands. Crit's really important for tanks, and it's also good for damage. Having 30+% crit on all of your abilities increase the consistency that your abilities hit hard, which is good stuff. Yeah, but like 38% crit, and this is the last season of the expansion, obviously. So we're able to hit pretty much the diminishing returns for both of our main stats, which is crit and verse, and then so mastery is now coming into play, which is really good too, because it increases the potency of our heals and our damage as like a baseline. So like right here, I'm spinning to like get early threat, but once the pull gets gathered, I'm gonna try to not hit that as much,
It's
and
like
then
my
turbo
Uncle
dives
Kagi
immediately.
once said, with great
Insane.
power comes great big booty bitches.
Yo, Mastino, thanks so much for the sub, dude. Oh no, did I use that early? Nope, we're good. Ooh, Frost DK's down bad, man. Unlucky. And so now that my Weapons of Order has, like, okay, I didn't use it, obviously, optimally there, but using Weapons of Order after my first cow fades is also really good. Not Weapons of Order, what am I saying? Nizao. I'm sitting on cap, which is also bad. Holy cow, I need to actually play better. Oh. How do you keep ripping threat? Turbo. I should have invited a rogue. That's all I'm getting from this. Damn. There we go. Turbo and Wirt used to be in your guild. Tell him Ashes says hi. I will do that. Alright, it was told. Nope, no problem. Yeah, they're goofballs. I'm a big fan of Turbo though. Turbo's like my favorite player in my guild. Until he drops shit on top of me. Yep. Now I hate Turbo. Yeah, he is good people. Okay. I have a question for chat. So the poop here does damage to the mobs. You can see that their health is going down a little bit. Not a lot of it, but a little bit. Are we dropping poop on top of the mobs to do damage to them, or are we not? Because I keep seeing people have this really weird take where they're like, you need to drop the pools on where the ads spawn to do damage to them, but clearly it doesn't scale. And so I think it's kind of troll for your DPS. It slows them, but then your melee can't hit them. And so it does slow them, but also, believe it or not, some players, some classes have the ability to slow mobs as well. And so slowing them is good, but also, you need to be able to kill them. I've seen like shorts of it. Someone commented on one of my videos actually about doing it. Not like a malicious way or anything, just like, hey, by the way, like the poop does damage to the ads. But in my head, I'm just like, yeah, but it doesn't scale. And then your melee can't hit them. Yeah, classes have utility on. Surprisingly, you wouldn't think so playing with a lot of players, but yeah, classes do have utility. So I don't know. There, Turbo said hi. I'll just pop this, then we're gonna go to town here. Yeah, well, I don't think the damage scales with key level, because like in a Mythic 0, it actually does a good bit of damage to the mobs, but it doesn't scale with key level. So that damage that it does is kind of like, it doesn't matter. You did a 15 dB that with a rogue that didn't know blind exists? Sounds about right. Sounds like your average bottom reroller. Rogue is very good right now, but not good enough to not know how to play the class, you know? Yeah, bring that guy in here. There we go. I'm not playing it on this character, or like, I mean, well, this character, but also this like talent build, but I've been using Clash in a couple of my keys, and holy shit, guys. Clash is kind of like secret tech. This mob is very healthy. We're gonna parkour up this mountain. Big fan of this little hill. Nice. Oh no. That was a mistake. Oh, I just whipped my kick. I'm old. So did Turbo, actually. Turbo's also a kick whiffer. It's a little unlucky. If you had asked me. Alright, Shaman's still good on mana, so we're gonna keep pulling here. Alright, oh. We phased, so he goes back into a slash, outrange, dash back in. I don't have a stop for that. Oh, good kick, Warlock. God damn.
It's like my Uncle Kagi once said, with great power comes great big booty bitches.
Yo, Zach, thanks so much for the sub, dude. Hopefully you're doing good. Yeah, I finally updated my sub icons. W Shelburne, yeah. WW. God damn it. There we go. What your rank this season? Season's fairly new. I think I'm 4th US currently and 9th world for Brewmaster. I think something like that. 10th maybe, I don't know. It's a long season. Doing all right though. Doing a-okay. Just having fun though. Yes. It's a very good song. Is Brewmaster meta yet? Not really. You never heard anyone else listen to them? Oh, they're so good. They got a lot of real good songs. Ninth? You be number 1. Or we kick you out. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna get. That's why my parents kicked me out. I'm never gonna be as good as Yoda or Dorky. Yeah, their shit's good. I have a lot of their shit in my playlists. 70 Soldier, great album. Yeah, W. Insane. Yeah, the only way to make Brewmaster real good is give us more CC. We need just like either an AoE silence or like a little bit more ways to control mobs. I don't know what that would be, but I think like a way to AoE silence or disarm mobs or something. I think Ring of Peace should work like, you know, like that. Oh, we don't have anyone to channel this. You need more effort, son. Yeah, dude, I've been trying to like, you know, go to the dojo every day. What does the channeling do? It's like a 10-second stun. You have to have enchanting level 25, which even if I had it on this character, it's real hard. It's real hard for a tank to do it because you're getting meleeed in the back and stuff. I think you need a healer to do it, honestly. Yeah, I think having a silence node versus a knock would be a good choice node. Like, the mobs inside the radius are silenced for the duration. Like, it's basically Solar Beam. It already exists in the game on Boomkin. Just make it a lot, like, monks having it too would be insane. It could be a Brewmaster only thing too. They could just like, and then keep Song of Chi-Ji for all of the other classes. I think that would be sick. But that's me saying that as a Brewmaster main. What can you macro clash to? I don't think you can macro it to really anything. I think it's a separate keybind. Unfortunately. In terms of the stun, I don't know the exact interaction. I've seen some mobs not get stunned by it. I don't know if it's like a radius thing. I don't know if it's a target count thing. But you want the mobs to try to be close to it if you're going to use it. Disarms silences in the circle. Yeah. And it's like around your character, isn't it? Yeah, that'd be tight. I don't want them to homogenize all the tanks, but I want their, like fully, like, I don't want all tanks to feel the same. But I do, like, I think with how Mythic Plus has developed over the years, you definitely need... You need to give the tanks all... Like, all tanks should have an AoE taunt, all tanks should have an AoE silence. We just lost 2 people on the run up here, which is crazy to me. I think utilities should be somewhat similar. Like, I'm fine with, like, Death Grip being kind of its own thing. I think an AoE taunt, though, is, like, mandatory. It doesn't even have to be a short CD, right? It could be a 4-minute cooldown, but giving tanks a backup to, like, get threat back quickly, I think would be very good. And then I'm a big proponent of having some way to, like, have a little bit more control. It doesn't all have to be AoE silences. It could just be, like, having, like, extra charges of kicks, or, like, stuns or knockups or whatever it might be, but I think they're on the right path with the new Nizao Toad down here, the improved Nizao, with the knockup, but I think it needs a lot of work still. Take kicks, yeah. Just make DPS do everything, yep. Tanks just have to take damage and pray that their group is good enough. Clash is no longer used for the root, but it's more of like a pseudo death grip, or it can be used as like an interrupt, like a real janky interrupt. I've been using it in like Halls of Atonement and stuff for groundskeepers and for just interrupting extra bolts or siphons, and it's been super nice. Okay, can you guys wait 3 seconds? Jesus Christ. Yep, GG. Oh no. Oh no. And then we mortal coil a mob into Asia. Oh, at least it was a faceplate, I guess. I just watched my cooldowns too. Great. Do. Just found out you've been doing keys this entire season, missing a talent in your class, giving you 5% healing. Hopefully it was traded for damage. How do you rip threat every 3 seconds, Turbo? I'm getting so triggered. Holy shit. Probably a good reason not to play Master of Harmony and Mythic Plus. That's alright, though. Double pack speaker pull. I don't think almost any pull leading up to it is that dangerous, so your healer should have all their cooldowns for it. That's just my take. But also, I think, you know, depends on your group and stuff. Oh, this is what I get for itching my nose. It's like I pull boss and Frosty K's just like doing 13 mil DPS. It's like, okay. Very cool. Tank threat in this game is so bad. Like, I need Blizzard to Take a nice long look. I like the threat mechanic. I think threat is an interesting game mechanic that gives tanks something to worry about, and DPS something to worry about. But, man. The imbalance is crazy. You just made me remember the skittish effects. Yup. Yeah, skittish used to be a thing. That's fun. That's a fun thing to think about. I just think there's a better way to do threat without having it change so drastically from season to season. Blizzard can easily incorporate something that the first 3 seconds a mob is engaged in combat, that it takes like increased threat generation. And that makes it so DPS definitely don't want to pull, but that tanks actually have better snap threat. Oh, I got a Warp Claw. That's pretty dope. Warp Claw isn't too bad. I don't think I'll ever use it, but... You think the transfer of aggro should not be instant? Yeah. The amount of rage your keyboard felt back in those times, yeah, that was tough. Luckily, I wasn't... I didn't tank much at that time. Like, back when Skittish was in a fix, I was, like, kind of a novice tank player. I played DPS mostly. But I didn't even do a lot of keys either. I mean, I did keys, but... Skittish was tough, though. Like, that was a terrible fix. It was... Oh, also, when I did tank, the group I played with at the time, I believe when Skittish existed, had double rogue BM Hunter. I mean, BM Hunter's obviously a little different, because it doesn't have MD, but it also doesn't get a lot of threat, because its pets are doing a lot of its damage. And when you're playing, like, with... I think at the time it was, like, double outlaw or whatever. It was back in BFA. And that affix didn't really matter when I did tank. So are most brews preferring Shadow Pan for Mythic Plus? Yeah. Yeah, it does a lot more AoE damage. This monk I have is primarily I just stick to Shadow or a Master of Harmony. Bring Reaping back. Yeah, Reaping was interesting. Sadly, I can't let DPS just die for pulling because the healer most always gets punished for the DPS going full Zug. I mean, kind of. I feel like DPS just die when that happens, and then the healers, it doesn't matter. Teaming and Skittish. Holy shit. Yeah. Teaming and Skittish. Holy. That's rough. There's a lot of AoE. Lots of pad from what you can tell. I like playing both specs. Yeah. I don't want to call it pad. Because more often than not, those ads or those mobs or whatever need to die. So if you're doing bigger AoE damage, like, it's good. In pure single target situations, Master of Harmony is going to be significantly better than Shadowpan, but as soon as you add like a second or tertiary target, Shadowpan becomes very, very competitive, and then obviously it scales up even more. At some point you have to learn to say skill issue when DPS get one shot. Yep. Yep. No ticks will save you on that effects for sure. But fixing snap threat would. Yeah, that's why I was talking about this earlier, but that's why I really like Fellowship. Like, Fellowship has their mechanic in the game where, like, the first person who pulls a mob has increased threat generation on them. And I think that's such a good system. Because if a DPS does happen to pull for you, you're kind of fucked. Like, that player's fucked. But at the same time, it fixes the issue of, like, snap thread at the start of pulls. Like, if the tank was intending to pull it, they're going to make sure they have thread on it, which is awesome. There's almost no difference between the two hero talents. Like, Shadowpan's a little bit more aggressive with his energy spending, but Master of Harmony, you just, like, hit stuff.
It's like my Uncle Kagi once said, with great power comes great big booty bitches.
Yo, Hellolorian. Thanks for the sub. But also, what do I think of the leaked survey? I did see that. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Where is it? Was it this article? It was like, right, so it was essentially, I don't know how real this is. Is this like confirmed to be kind of real-ish? This looks fake to me, but my problem with, see, the thing is, I like the idea of having a solo queue system. And so I'm not against them trying to incorporate one. And it would make me sad if they don't try to incorporate one, because I think other games do it really well. I mean, it's like, cool, you want additional crests, but at the same time, like, does this really matter? Like, this isn't... I'm never really doing keys for crests. I mean, I am now, but more often than not, I'm doing keys because I want to do a key, because I want to have fun, I want to hit my buttons, and I want to push IO, I want to get score. So there's times where I would love to have a more automated process. Like, right now is a great example. I could literally just join a pre-made, like a group finder, and it'll find a group for me. And yeah, they could be shit, but at least I can just get in without having to, like, list a group and invite people. I'll go back to, I keep using this as a reference, but again, I think Fellowship, during their, like, original beta testing and their closed beta, I think the solo queue system is very good. It's just, like, really odd to me that Blizzard, it almost seems like they're resistant to putting a solo queue system in the game. And I, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just an idiot, and I don't really know. It's one of those things where, like, the grass is greener. Where it's like, yeah, it'd be cool to have a solo queue system, but maybe once they have it in the game, I'm just like, wow, I fucking hate this, or I never use it. And yeah, aren't we all? I'm one of the people, I'm someone who has, like, a push group, and outside of my push group, I have people that I play with or that want to play with me, I guess, which is cool. So I'm never really actually pugging all that often. Like, this is a very rare case for me to be sitting here in Group Finder and, like, spamming keys. Yeah, like, I get that aspect of it, but see, I'd be interested to see what data that Blizzard is looking at that they have, like, on their end. And we'll never have access to it, by the way, but it would be interested to see their actual reasoning why, and them pointing at data. Like, here is why. Like, this thing right here is the reason we don't have a solo queue. But how terrible does it feel for all of these players sitting in my queue right now? It's gotta feel super fucking bad, right? Like, all of these people are queuing up to their 12, whether they need it for IO or they're farming sack brood or whatever it might be, and I'm just gonna invite the best looking people. And all of these guys are sitting in queue, and you can see they're not canceling. Well, this group just canceled, but this means that they're still sitting in queue, waiting for keys or looking for keys. And yeah, you might, in a solo queue system, like it would have to be like in-game MMR based or something, or maybe they add a voting system in-game that'll pair like better voted players with other better voted players or something. I don't know. Like, there's a lot they'd have to do, and like they'd have to definitely work out the kinks, but it's just like, I don't know. There might be people who still want to manually do keys. It doesn't mean that we'd lose. I don't think so. We'd lose the way to manually fill groups, but we'd also... I think it'd be an easier way to network, too. That's why I never invite you to your stinker. Yeah, true. True and real. Boosting makes forming groups worse. IO means nothing anymore. Week 1 to 7 priority with a group that was all between 2.7k and 3k last season. They had no idea how any of the mechanics worked. Yeah. Sometimes you just luck out. Sometimes you just like you just queue into some gangsters. Wait, is this guy? You like being made to choose who joins your key? I get to pick fellow off-meta siblings who are usually better personalities or friendlier. Yeah, that is true. That's a good part about this system. Yeah, it is a terrible metric. Like a number, this means nothing. And maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. I've played with people who have title, who I think are still stinkers, and they get reps. They play this game 24/7, and they just, because they spam keys so much, eventually they like proc a good run. And so this metric is terrible. Like an IO metric is awful. It's a good baseline, but it's not indicative of how a player is actually going to perform in a given key. And maybe it does come down to an incentivizing thing where maybe it's group leaders should be more incentivized, right? And that's kind of what it looks like this article is like alluding to. I don't want it to be full screen. So like your key's protected, you get additional like crests, something that recommends playstyles or goals. Like I definitely think they can improve on the system we currently have without clearly like a solo queue system. So yeah, this is interesting. I don't know. There's more than just one problem. It's not we need a solo queue or like group finder's dead or whatever. Like that's not really the core problem. The core problem might be like there's not enough fun classes. Maybe class balance is all over the place. Tanks aren't fun to play. Healers aren't fun to play. Some keys might be more challenging than others. And so you have all these other like little factors that then lead into like the system's like annoying, because I'm a feral druid. Feral druids, I'm just making up a random class. Feral druid is actually pretty good, but feral druid sucks. No one's inviting me to their keys because they want like frosty Ks and arcane mages or whatever. And so like that's not a problem of the group finder necessarily, but a problem of like the class balance or at least community perception. So it's a very difficult thing for at least Blizzard to figure out. I do think they should make stated like it should be easier to state your goals, whether it's like completion for IO, networking for shits and gigs, like whatever. Like you should be able to like list what you're looking for. And I think if the game had a better way to display stats, and I think if Blizzard they could take that step in the future. We already know that they're trying to put in new, like they're trying to update the obviously in-game user interface with like a damage meter and nameplates and stuff, and they could eventually go to the point where like you can add ratings into the game about like who kicks a lot and who CCs a lot and who actually like does that kind of shit. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do. Community perception sucks. Yeah, it's terrible. Also, I think I'm capped on crests. I don't know why I'm doing keys. I should probably swap characters. Give you augment runes as tank and healer? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, when I queue up to a key as a healer, I should get an augment rune. Or a tank or whatever, yeah. For fun? What do you mean for fun? What about removing keys fully? Have dungeons entrance work like delves? You simply choose the level? As long as there's like a bigger progression system, but that'd be interesting. Like people have made this argument. I don't even know if it's an argument, but it's like, what if you could choose your own key and choose the level, or progress it like what is it, rifts from Diablo 3 or whatever? Like imagine you just get to be like, I want to go to I want to go to Dawnbreaker and I've completed a 17, so now I can queue for 18 and we can just keep spamming 18s. Remove key depletion altogether. I don't know. There's so many things. I like key depletion. I know it's a hot take. I like the stakes because I don't like resilient keys. I don't like being. I mean, people would be like, "Hey, you have resilient 16. I really need Gambit. Can we spam run your Gambit?" And then the person who's asking is generally not that great because they're trying to claw up, but it's my homework key, so. I think resilient key's fine for the average player, but I personally don't like them because I'm often on the end that doesn't receive the benefit of it. I think resilient keys are great. I just don't like them personally because I don't get to benefit from them. I know that's very weird, or not really weird, it's more selfish, but I don't want them to remove resilient keys. I think they're great. I like love them on my alts when I have like just keys that are resilient 12 and I can just spam 12s and I don't. Yeah, we failed the key. Who gives a fuck? It fills my vault. I'm gonna keep running 12s back. But I don't like when it's like, hey, can we run your Priory 20? Your Resil Priory 20, and then we're in there for 7 hours, and then we end up not completing the key ever because we're only there for someone's IO. And that feels bad because we never get it in the first place, and I just kind of like spent 7 hours like banging my head against the wall. That's the part I don't like about Resil keys. Oh, I'm dumb. It's my key. Yeah, I know it's a hot take, but stop stepping on eggs. Jesus Christ, guys. That might have been me. Oh, and then Bodinger dies. Nice. Yep, and that's why this pull sucks. And then Turbo's gonna die to that. We're gonna lust, but our hunter's not even here to benefit from the lust. And we're not gonna grip them in, because why grip in ads? There we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and like pretend that I like, right? Like, This is why I don't like Brazil keys. I think they're great. They're awesome. But the caveat is like they're great when you benefit from them. Or if like because when I'm doing lower keys, like my alt might have Brazil 18 or whatever. Like right now I have Brazil 16 on my main. I can drop it to a 12 and I can like spam it and then it's a Brazil 12 and I can just like literally sit there and hang out, fill vault with people, and it's great. It's when you're not benefiting from it is when I don't like Brazil keys. Tettles said basically the same thing. High level key leads people to bashing their heads into a key until it gets... Yeah, it's basically like luck. And... yeah, I don't know. I can definitely have like an elitist take where it's like, I don't like that people are getting chances at Brazil keys who don't deserve it or whatever. Like that really fucking elitist take. But there's times where you're just doing a key and you're like, man, like, okay, like clearly... Like, I've done keys with people, especially at the end of last season, where, like, they might have had, like, 14s on the board, and then they're like, hey, like, let's run your Brazil 19. It's like, dude, you don't know what half of the mechanics are. Like, why do you want to run this? And then I'm just sitting there for 6 hours in Cinderbrew metery wiping to the first pull. Oh, man. It's, like, super, it's super nuanced. That's all it is. It's super nuanced. Because it's weird. I like the Brazils when it's like, okay, we're progging 20s. And we have Brazil 19, like from last season or whatever. Brazil 20s, we're trying to get some 21s. We can use the 20s to practice. And that's great. Like that's a benefit to me. I don't like Brazil though when it's like you're banging your head against the wall. Yep. That's pretty much it. Alright, I'm done with the Brazil key rant. I know it's not the most popular opinion for a contentious topic, and I hate this mob. Holy shit. People have the I pay $15 a month and I deserve everything you get take. There's a take. Yeah. Throw it away, forget yesterday. Are you asking what a Brazil key is? A resilient key is... They added a new system this last season that if you time all keys on a level 12, you no longer can have your keys deplete level 12. And so what that means is now you don't have to worry about your key going back down to like an 11, a 10. So you can more comfortably pug. And if a key's looking like it's going to fail, you can just back out and rerun it. And it's great. Big fan of the system. There's just a few circumstances where I don't like it. I think that Blizzard could have a little... maybe this isn't the best response. Oh, I'm stunned. Nice. Wait, how many... There's webs everywhere, dude. Oh, wait, I'm a human. I can get out of that. Nice. Yeah, see, Brazil is great. It's really good. It's just... It has very specific problems. And not everyone hates it. There's people I know out there who love having Brazil and helping their friends and like sitting in keys for 7-8 hours and just like bashing their head against the wall to help their friends get IO. I'm not that person. I will help you get IO, but I don't want to sit there for 6 hours doing nothing. That's not really what I like to do in this game. I like progression, I like figuring stuff out, but I don't like sitting in the same key. Same reason I don't like raiding. I don't like waiting around waiting for people to figure stuff out. I like when keys deplete, though, because I like the stakes. I like, hey, we have to do that. I played better. I play better when I know the key's going to deplete. Even if it's a homework key, like, I'm going to lock in. When I know the key won't deplete, I'm leaning back. I might miss a kick here and there. I don't use my, crowd control as much as I should. Stuff like that, and like that's another reason I don't like Brazil keys, is it's like it's like a weird mentality shift. I don't know why. Did you miss the pink class gameplay? No, I haven't touched my Paladin yet. I was gonna play it a little bit. I might do it after this key. I have some, I want to try to get 4-step before raid, but I would also need to do like a ton of keys, which might not happen. What did I just hit? Oh, that's fine. Dude, this rogue is just off doing his own thing. Dude, get out of here. What are you doing? Can I explain the defensive difference between Celestial Brew and a Celestial Infusion? Yeah, I can. So Celestial Infusion is really cool. It's a new talent they added as a choice node between that and like Celestial Brew. And instead of consuming absorbing all the damage you take until the shield's consumed, it's like essentially treat it like a 30% damage reduction. So the healing total difference is generally not going to be different at all. It heals for the same amount, or it protects the same amount of damage. It's just the way it interacts with the damage you're taking is slightly different. It's either a 100% damage stop or a 30% damage stop. Now, Infusion isn't super great in low keys, because what ends up happening in low keys is the shield expires. And you don't get the full value out of it compared to Celestial Brew. But once you're doing like 12s and stuff, generally Celestial Infusion becomes a little bit better for the average player. There are times where you might want a full damage stop, because Celestial Brew isn't affected by some like Mortal Strikes, for example. So it's really good in Halls of Atonement. It's really good in Dawnbreaker. I think there's one other key that it's good in. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But generally speaking, they're equal in value, but it's the way you take damage. I feel like times when I press Infusion, it doesn't take much as... Wait. It's like when you press Infusion, it doesn't tank as much damage as Brew would? Yeah, because it's not a full damage stop. So you're still going to be taking damage pretty much always when you're playing Infusion, which means you're going to be a little bit more reliant on like soft healing, like triage healing from your healer. You're going to be relying a little bit more on Guideplins and Pure Brew, so making sure you're purifying consistently. Obviously, Expel Harm when you're low, so you get like a nice big lay on hands effect. Where when you play Celestial Brew, it's like a very stop and go. Like, I'm going to stop damage for a couple seconds because Celestial Brew is absorbing all of it, and then during that time, I'm going to then full heal myself, and then I'm going to rely on Stagger and other effects to help me between the two. Yeah, it's essentially like Ignore Pain. It's obviously a little different. Ignore Pain's like a 50% DR on a certain cap threshold. Celestial Brew is definitely not like that at all. They're both good. I personally prefer Celestial Brew, but again, they're similar, very similar value. So C Brew has a huge shield and Infusion as a DR. I mean, maybe I'm not understanding, but they have they're like, let's say both of them will heal or absorb 2 million damage. And just the way that they're going to absorb that damage is different. Because Celestial Brew is going to get consumed very quick because it's absorbing everything that's incoming versus, obviously, the DR. Oh, I'm definitely like not kicking or paying attention to anything. PCT would go hard here, though. I don't know if they're running it or not. Most bosses suck in raid. Oh yeah. Tanking in raid is really boring because you figure it out pretty early. Like, you know what the tank mechanic is, and you know if it's going to one-shot you and what kind of mitigation you have to have. More often than not, spoiler alert, you need maybe one defensive, and you normally will have enough to be able to rotate there. Tanking in raid is not hard. The problem in Raid is that normally you'll figure it out well before the DPS figure out how to stay alive through the different onslaught of damage, and healers figure out like how to ramp their cooldowns properly. So it's what we call unlucky. My understanding is treat CI as a DR and CBS as a big absorb. Yep. That's a good way to look at it. I mean, they're both essentially absorbs, just knowing that Celestial Infusion will not prevent you from dying like Celestial Brew will. Catch Wayo, you bet. I made you resub to WoW again. I'm sorry. I personally think WoW is in one of the best states it's been in a long time. I think this tier is awesome. I think the dungeons are generally pretty good outside of like Dawnbreaker existing. And because of the potency and power of the tier sets, like classes feel really strong right now. I don't know. Welcome back though. Yeah, I think WoW's goated right now. And I think it's looking better in Midnight from the little information we know. Oh. Huge grip. Let's go. W grip. My favorite DK. Grippin' and whippin'. I see DR as a better option than just a shield that absorbed everything. So imagine you're about to get hit for like 30 mil. Well, I guess this is actually a bad example, but if you have a full damage stop for a 30 mil hit, you might live. But if you have a 30% DR, you might still die. Like, I guess that's kind of the argument. Obviously, like, it's different because it's like a 30%, like, it's definitely not that big of a shield where it'll get fully absorbed regardless, but there's a world where having a full damage stop is better, especially in a world where you have a healing reduction on you. When you have a healing reduction on you, being able to full stop damage is way better than a DR. Poor Turbo. Breath faded right as we pulled. What do you think is the most beginner friendly hero talent? For Brewmaster specifically, I think Master of Harmony is. And I say this because what it incentivizes you to do is to use your defensive mitigation, like Celestial Brew and Purifying Brew, like offensively. And not that that's a bad thing or a good thing, but the biggest thing a Brewmaster player needs to get used to is using their things. Like using Purifying Brew and using Celestial Brew often. And what you'll sometimes see, and this is for someone who's done countless coaching sessions, is one of the biggest early mistakes I see Brewmaster players make is that they don't cast Purifying Brew and they kind of sit on it thinking that it's like they only need to use it when there's like a really big damage event. And ultimately using the stuff on cooldown is way better for you than anything else. And what I like about Master of Harmony is the whole playstyle loop is using Celestial Brew. So once you get in the habit of using Celestial Brew or Celestial Infusion actively and often, then it translates better into Shadowpan. Yeah, you spam that shit. Yeah, as you should. I mean, spamming is better than not hitting it at all, but also you have to be careful on spamming because there's obviously issues with that. But, yeah, for sure. I know you know. I know you know, but, you know? Where's this web mage? What does web mage do? It is satisfying to press. Yeah, it's satisfying to press if you're playing special delivery. It's just satisfying to press, actually. Yeah, so it depends on how many stalkers you pull. Yeah, because if you pull only like 2, you're probably fine. But if you're doing like a big enough pull where you're gonna be hitting like a 40 to 50% DR, Celestial Brew is a little bit stronger in those scenarios. Now, don't get me wrong, Infusion's great for the rest of the dungeon, so it's really up to you, and ultimately it's going to do the same amount of healing, so... I just found myself kiting more often when running Infusion, which I didn't like. Yeah, it did get the love it deserves. It sucks that there's a lot of people who still don't think it's like a satisfying rework and they're still mad about it, but like at the same time, it's like, well, it's kind of good. I didn't want them to rework Brew. I didn't want them to make it different. I wanted it to just be improved, and I think they moved in the right direction. I think there's some areas that they can still be improved in, specifically with their like crowd control department. I think Ring is great, Lake Sweep's fine, but not having that additional control is a little obnoxious in my opinion. Compared to like the fact that like other tanks have AoE CCs and stuff. It would just be nice to have another way to control mobs a little better than we currently are. Ox Dance would be great. Also, reduce the amount of vagueness would be also good. And I think just like, give us an AoE Silence, give us an AoE Taunt, give us something. Give us a second charge on Spearhand Strike, or maybe make it like a really short cooldown or some shit. Imagine having like a 10-second kick as a Brewmaster. Or 2 charges or something, like, where you could just go bam, bam, Spearhand Strike. Locking down the mobs, man. Oh, hopefully someone kicks. Nope. Oh. I think 2 kick charges would be nice. Like, that'd be kind of unique. It's not useful in every situation, but like, we're already sitting here fisting the mobs. Just let us kick a couple times, because our kick is a punch. That's our whole thing. We punch. And then it would make this thing really interesting. The energy transfer. Every successful interrupt lowers the cooldown on para. Make para like a Blaken Silence. Oh, dude, you'd just be kick, kick, paralysis. Kick, kick, paralysis. Like, oh, dude, it would be so fucking... Dude, oh, man. Just thinking about it makes me all hot and sweaty. Why do high brews play Shadowpan? Big damn. Real big damn. No other reason than that. They have disarm. I think it's a PvP talent, isn't it? Master of Harmony is still good in keys. You're gonna do less overall damage, but your single target's gonna be insane. I mean, I'm playing Master of Harmony right now. I mean, I'm in a 12, but I've played Master of Harmony up to like 16s, and you definitely want... I don't know if he's gonna shadow step to me or not, but... Yeah, it's PvP. Yep. Makes sense. Just like awkwardly out of energy. Boop. They're gonna have of using Transcendence as Brew, literally never use it. It's very good. For obvious reasons. It's very good for kiting. It's also very good for fights like this, where you can just transcend out of it and then you don't have to use the slimes. Do you have to do it? No. But it's one of those things where, like, you can save your group a pool or whatever, like on the ground, so your healer or your DPS can get in. It's also just like a fun ability. Not required, but it's why I like Panda, so I also get Quaking Palm sometimes, and mobs are immune to that. Is it fancier? Yes. Yeah, true. True and real. Yeah, Quaking Palm is pretty tight, but yeah, there are a lot of mobs that are immune to that type of CC. Yo, Wox, what's up, buddy? Are you finally no longer washed? I saw that you were pushing some IO. Also, thanks for the raid yesterday. It's good. This guy's dancing with death, though. Still washed? Oh, okay. Well, maybe one day you'll get clean. It'll be really good. Oh, I'm dead here, aren't I? Oh. I like that this healer's just not dispelling me. I'm now at 19 stacks. Bam! Tiger's Lust. Okay. GG's. Bam. Bam. Touch of death. Didn't get to use it, but that's alright. I'll get you a 13 halls, though, Wox, so you can sleep at night. I hate this trinket. Just so much damage. Friggin' wild. Am I gonna stream raid? I might. I haven't decided yet. I feel like raid streams are bad. You love lighter than air? Yeah, it's so hard to go back. It's a lot of movement. It's also a good way to like counter what am I call counter fall damage, which is good. You can use there's like some cool tricks you can use with I mean I did it earlier, but when I finished right here, you can like roll and then dash over here and get to the boss platform nice and quick, which is pretty dope. A lot of people don't know this, but it allows you to walk on water, monks have water walking when you're playing lighter than air, which is pretty dope. Yeah, people are always surprised, but some people know. It's just a really good movement ability. It gives the class a little bit of like a dynamic element to it without being overpowered. I don't like Fell Rush as like an ability in the Demon Hunter kit, but I really like lighter than air. But yeah, like you can just walk on water, and then it falls off and you sink. It's dark because I had the inky blackness or whatever, inky black potion on. Yeah, Fell Rush is rough. It's rough out here. Yeah, I don't know. Raid streaming is really boring. And I'm not like a big viewership Andy. I really don't care, but I always notice that my stream goes from like I lose like over half my viewers when I stream raid. Like I don't think anyone cares about it. You don't generally like watching raid streams, but did catch first kill on Mythic Queen in season 1. That was great to watch. Yeah, that was fun. That was like good. Like getting hard boss kills on stream is cool, but like I really don't care to stream like progression, especially like early bosses rating at like world 800 level. It's not fun. Do you think you'll do a 0 to Hero series again? Uh I always want to. And I actually do one almost every season, but what ends up happening is that I get really lazy. So like I'm pretty sure in season 1, once this opens up, let's see. I did a 0 to Hero. I have all the footage here. I did it in 3 weeks. I literally have it, and it's all categorized. The problem is I'm lazy. And so like I had behind this I was starting to gather like I was doing it. I do it every season. And then like what happens is I get really lazy. And then I like don't do it. And then if we go back to I don't know if it's a zero to Hero Death Knight. I have my Death Knight one that I did back in whatchamacallit. Here's like me pug raiding on my Frosty K. I don't know what I was doing in some of this footage. Like I was doing the challenge and getting gear and farming raid bosses and world bosses, and what ends up happening is I do the whole thing and then it becomes such a big project that I just I get like I procrastinate, and then it's like the new season is around the corner. I'm like, oh, no one cares to watch this, and then it's just gone. It's unlucky. It's unlucky because I have like I'm bad. Yeah, that Prot Warrior 0 to Hero, like the first one I ever did, was a lot of fun. It's a series that I will always look back on that got my channel off the ground. It's just like the entire challenge, like, and this is I'm just ballparking. Let's say it takes me 100 hours of gameplay to go from like being 0 IO to being whatever my goal is, like 2500, 3K, whatever it is. And then and the structure that I end up doing it in ends up like it just becomes such a mountain. It's like, wow, okay, now I have to sort through 100 hours of footage. I have to write scripts. I have to watch all this footage and like write down notable moments. I need to timestamp certain things, and it's I'll do it. My goal is to do it again one day. I just like back in Dragonflight, I think my next one that I did, I started a Sub-Rogue one that I never ended up finishing. I did a Holy Paladin one I never ended up finishing. I did a Frost Death Knight one I never ended up finishing. I did an Evoker one. Like every time I try to do it again, I just like don't have the same passion I did when I first did it. I'm pretty sure the Paladin one actually like cranked. One sec, let me try to find it. It's actually one of the most popular things on my channel. Like, if you go to my channel, go to videos, and you hit popular, my Zero to Hero Paladin one was actually at 71,000 views. Fucking wild. From zero, still a zero, never took off. That's how I feel. Yeah, the biggest problem with this series in particular was it had a lot. It actually did really well. Like I did like 3 episodes of it, but then they reworked HPAL and it became meta. And so then every comment I would get on the video was it was constantly disliked. And then people were like, "You're playing meta. It's so fucking easy." It's like, dude, yeah, I'm sorry I chose a class that I didn't expect to get reworked. Because it was just like it was an average class. It was like B tier. What do I do for a living? That's a good question. What do I do for a living? It's hard to explain what I do. I guess the best way to say it is I'm a freelancer. I'm a freelance marketer. That's how you felt when Red got reworked? Yeah. It's just like, it's really shitty. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a gigolo. Yeah, I sit out on the street corner. I definitely don't suck dick in an alley for money. Yep. I'm an finder. I'm an affiliate on OnlyFans, on Grindr. I'm the spokesperson for the Iron Lung. It's making a comeback. Nani? Yeah, dude. How do I explain this? Yep. I work in the sex work industry. I'm a professional pimp. It's just like the most wild shit. It's good money, yeah. That's why I play WoW all day. Yeah. Yeah, I sit in Goldshire, but like in real life. Fucking actually wild. It's the most wild shit. Maybe I gotta start like thinking of like the most crazy jobs and just like whenever someone asks, I should just start ripping. Yeah, I'm a foot photographer. Like, dude, imagine. Holy. I'd be sweating all day. I'd just be at work, like, sweating profusely. I'm a foot photography consumer. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you're familiar with my work. That's a pretty interesting cat you got. Interesting. Breaking news. Starts a surge of young gamers sucking dick on the street corner during night so they can game during the day. This just in. Breaking news. It's so bad. Yeah, it's terrible. It's pretty bad. It's yeah, it's pretty fun. Playing WoW, not sucking dick. Ooh, walking down a road there. That's awkward. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people are complaining about their day job, man. Just like, join OnlyFans. Trust me, some weird billionaire named Jeffrey is interested. Both are fun. Damn. Sorry, cat again. Unlucky. All right, do we think I can get into any keys on this shitty Paladin? No. No one clips my stream. Here in northern Sweden, sometimes during the cold winter, you can get BJs on the free on the corner just so they can get something warm in their stomach. Oh no. Holy. I just read that out loud. You work in corrections, anything is better than that? F. Yeah. You start an OnlyFans, man. Start a small online business where you sell salt and pepper shakers. Prop out in Sleeper Tank this season? Yeah, okay, so sorry, there's a comment earlier about everyone was like dooming on it and it's actually broken as fuck. Taken down. Yeah, is it actually? That would make sense. Yep. They caught me. Demonetized immediately. Okay, so I was definitely not dooming on Prop Paladin. I've been saying that Prop Paladin is probably like going to be the meta tank this season. I think people shit on it because they don't understand the dungeons. Because Prop Paladin is like, I think, a little bit harder tank to play. You have to be a little bit better with your defensive management. You don't have a lot of like passive damage mitigation through just like Shield the Righteous, kind of dookie. Like, it's like you have to keep solder up, keep consecration up. If you need to run like the Holy Barricade or whatever the fuck it's called, you play that. You also need to cycle through Ardent, Guardian, Wings and or Sentinel, Guardian of Ancient Kings, your Guardian of Ancient Kings proc at 40%, and your Divine Shield. Like, you have 6 different defensives you have to cycle through. And if you don't do that properly in higher keys, you get like absolutely nuked. But the thing is, this season is designed so well for Prop Paladin. Wings kind of gives a defensive value if you're playing Might. If you're playing Sentinel, though, there's obviously a defensive value here. You get like DR, and then it diminishes over time. If you're playing Avenging Wrath, you gain Mastery or Crit or something, and it's like actually pretty fucking good. Like, that's obviously, like, it gives you more parry chance, it gives you more attack power, etc. But generally speaking, you have all these different like cooldowns you have to cycle through, and if you don't do it properly, you're fucked. You have an insane kit, and Avenger's Shield allows you to lock down most of those casts that are really important. And with the way that stat scaling works, you have like so much crit, you hit your mastery cap, you hit your haste cap. I don't know, man. Prot's looking really good. I think it's going to be the best tank by the end of the season. And obviously, assuming that there won't be nerfs. Prot Warrior's looking really good, but they're looking good because of damage. Can you explain Sacred Armament from Lightsmith? Essentially, what you're doing is, so you have your core ability, your Holy Ornaments. You have the Sacred Weapon, which, when it's applied to you and another DPS, it's going to cause your damage to just do damage. Like, it's like just a free damage event on top of you already doing damage. And it cycles between providing a damage gain through the weapon or the Bulwark, which is just a max health absorb. And then what's happening during your rotation is you're randomly proccing it on other people. Which makes it just insta-good. Yeah, I mean, Prot Warriors are always a brick wall. Their mitigation is literally just block everything, and whatever doesn't get blocked is going to get ignored pain. So as long as you're keeping those two things up, Prot Warriors should not take a lot of damage, and they do a lot of damage. Obviously, they are susceptible to bleeds. They're susceptible to like large magical hits, especially with that spell block now. But yeah, Prot Warriors are very brick wall-like. You just, as long as you keep up your mitigation, you're set. Same with Brewmaster. You keep up your mitigation, you're probably going to be feeling pretty good. Tank damage is relevant in currently. And the reason I say that is if, like, I'm going to just use Archon as an example. Let's go to High Mythic Keys. And let's go to tanks. This difference is not big, right? 100k difference, 200k difference, this is not going to make or break a key. But this versus this can be relevant in the entire duration of a key. If you're doing literally almost 1 million less DPS as a tank, that can have a negative impact on the ability to time a key. Now, obviously, it's not the first thing. There's a lot of other factors that I would say are more important for a tank to have. Even last season, VDH was not the highest damage tank. They just had an insane kit, and they had crazy survivability. You want some type of mixture of the three. You want really high survivability, a really good toolkit, and then obviously then damage is part of that. You just don't want dookie damage. I would say right now the top 3 tanks are doing like insane damage, and these tanks need a buff. Like this versus this is crazy. This is almost 2 mil. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But damage is a factor. It's just not the most important thing, but it still has relevance. Yeah, Prot Warrior damage is kind of insane. I would like to do... Should I just run my key down mid? I'm gonna just do my key. Fuck it. I will probably die to everything, but that's okay. A Loon Guardian, no damage at all. Yeah, bears down bad. I feel like no one's gonna queue up to this key who's not already super geared. I'm gonna be a little picky here. We got a big DK. Oh, they already fucking canceled. How picky should I be? We'll get him in here. Fuck it. Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Who's King Deuce? I recognize this name, but... It's not you. Do I trust the sub 700 item level arcane mage? Oh man. You're washed now? Yeah. I mean, we have a Lust on Shaman. I like that anyone who has high IO queues up and then instantly realizes that I'm 300 IO and instantly backs out. Deuce, I kind of want to invite you, but I also kind of want to time the key. Oh man, I'm torn. I'm torn. All right, I have a guildie coming, but next
I
time
simply
for
wish you had
sure.
lasted a little longer.
That's so loud. You're late to the match with work and stuff? Yeah, no worries. Sorry. I just, my guildie needs crest, so before raid. Just hit me up. Yeah, that shit's loud as fuck. I gotta get my Twitch guy to lower that. Plot twist, that guy's me. Loading screen hopping, holy shit, man. Do 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 do. Alright, this is either gonna go really well or really poorly. I don't know yet. I don't know what talent build I'm supposed to run, so I'm just gonna stick to whatever I have currently and just pray. Alright, I'm back. We game. That was just some random dude, but it was you? Oh, shit. Oh my god, dad jokes, let's go. W. Do I have a flask? I guess I have mastery pots, that's fine. Yep, I do make foot content. Amen. I forgot to drop the key. Why is my concentration not going down? I mean, to be fair, he's not a DPS. He's a healer. But I really don't like it when people ask when to lust. Just send it, man. Just send it. It's all good. The start of the dungeon's the best time, too, because everyone has their CDs and shit. It's all good. Oh, I didn't pull this other pack. Unlucky. Yeah, I guess we're just holding loss, which is fine. I'm good for it. Damn, look at that prio damage. It sucks that I'm playing a very, very undergeared tank. I don't have set. I don't... Well, I have 2 set, but I'm just gonna keep hitting this random shell crusher over here by myself. Oh god. How did he fucking planted it on the rock. Wild, wild shit. It's so funny because I am so bad at this game. I haven't played Paladin, like, actually since, like, well, the start of Season 2, but Season 1, basically. The Shaman did ask for Lust. It's funny because he queued up with his DPS friend, so I kind of figured he was, like, gonna be his, like, Pocket Lust. That's kind of what my assumption was, which I was like, this is great. Because Pocket Lust players normally will just hit Lust for their DPS buddy. I'm not gonna have Threat here for a second. Do I just send Bubble? I'm gonna just send Bubble for Taunt. Let's go. Even through the AoE taunt, I still don't have Threat after that. That's wild. Buddy, you're dead. You're dead. Use a defensive. Or Shadow Meld. I guess you don't have it. Okay. Yeah, Pocket Lust. Little simp. Is that not what it is? You're a DPS player queuing up with a Resto Shaman. You have a Pocket Lust. You're a Red Paladin queuing up with a Shaman. Buddy. Oh. Threat is insane when you're playing with a 7 fucking 10 DH and you're a 680 prop paladin without set. I hope Red blasts on boss. They have Lust. Give me all the crackles. There's 2. There's 1. And there's another. Alright. And I just blocked off our path to the next boss. Oh, what just fucking slapped me? I'm gonna just bubble now. Just gonna stand in it. Oh, there's there's a second thing. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, dude, if I was a Ret Paladin main, the next best thing you can have besides having a tank to tank everything for you is literally a Resto Shaman. Oh, I didn't have my little enchant on. I always forget about that. Blue, yellow, purple, red. Nice. Yeah, I also need a macro that auto puts it on. I'm kind of dumb. Kind of forget it's a thing. How do I... Yeah, whatever. Not gonna question it. Who said this rep was gonna blast his boss? Who said that? Oh, yeah. That's so funny, dude. We didn't even lust! Guys, we didn't even lust. You know what? I should have invited Deuce. Deuce would have lusted. I swear to God, if he pulls like, I asked when lust and no one said anything, it's like, man, just fucking hit it. Let's see, did he say anything? No, he didn't say anything. Good. Okay. Okay. Ardent Defender comes out first. Gotta make sure we're targeting the sages. I'm gonna then cheer here. And then Super Seasoning is faded-ish. I'm gonna pop Guardian of Ancient Kings. The next time they enrage, I'm gonna run, because I am a bitch. That's the goal. Nah, I don't really care. I don't care if we lust or not. Arguing over lust and HOA, yeah? DHs are so funny, man. Holy shit. Oh, the affix is the dispel thing. I didn't even realize that. Or the heal absorb thing, right? It's not even a heal absorb, it's just like... Oops. Literally kicked and Avenger Shield the same target. Heal me, please, I'm dying. Oh, healer! It's like my favorite fucking thing to say, man. Yeah, my bad. I didn't realize it was the dispel thing. I could have been helping out the whole time. Yay, we lost it. Let's go. We're insane. I like that shaman's positioning. He's like way back in the corner there. I'm kind of pumped. Good cage. Let's hope no one breaks it. I almost missed that. Holy shit. My OBS says it's still going, so I don't know. Nice. So let me say, oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Insane tech. This is why I love Prop Paladin, man. I don't think anyone's had to kick at all the whole time. Good song choice. Hell yeah. I just gotta be careful when I pull this patrol, and then we should be good. I'm gonna get a bulwark out here. I kind of missed this gameplay loop. Get this going. Bam. I don't think we beat Pulsar here. Unlucky. That's okay, though. Hopefully I stay alive, though. Prop Paladin low-key very satisfying to play. Yeah, I'm not someone who can play it forever. But I'm someone who enjoys my time playing it. And it's always nice to go back to. Like, I didn't play it much last season. I played it, like, very early at the start. Kind of casually did delves and stuff on it. Maybe a couple weekly keys, but I kind of, like, gave up on it by the time Turbo Boost came out because I didn't want to farm all those crests. And then, now that it's back, I'm kind of just, like, I'm enjoying it again. I didn't like Templar. Not gonna lie. Not a huge fan of the Templar playstyle. So, you know, I'm glad Lightsmith is kind of in favor again. You could have played it last season, but not competitively. Templar's fun for, like, world content, low keys, just to do big damn, but man, there's something about, for me at least, there's something about providing buffs to your group. That's just like, it's like the class fantasy, right? Like, Hand of Sacrifice, Blessings, and now you also have, like, little holy shields and swords that you're giving people to do big damn. It's kind of dope. I did enjoy my time playing Templar, but if I had to choose, I'm gonna do this strat. I hate this strat, just to be clear, but I think running all the way over here for no reason, because they're still gonna port out. Boom, look, they're still out. And then we still have to run out to do this collapsing star shit. So this is fun. And I have to get all the way back over here just for this shit. And now I'm gonna proc my cheat. I mean, that's dope. I'm glad you have a favorite tank. Like, that's how I feel about Brewmaster. Where Guardian streams. You're gonna be waiting here a while if you're waiting for Guardian Druid. I've thought about dusting it off a little bit this season, but I don't know if I can get myself to do it. Is Dorky playing it? Bear? I don't think so. He's been playing a lot of everything. He's been blasting on his Brew, man. Like, he's like very high on Brew. I thought I saw him on the DK, but I don't know if he's playing Frost. I like Dorky. W Dorky. Did I ever watch Jargo play Brew? No. And you know what? And maybe this is because I'm an elitist. But with how little Brew is played by some of these tanks, like Drogo's a good example, Yoda's a good example, amazing players, very talented, very good at the game. Brews of spec you need to kind of play a lot to get a hang of. And so I don't like watching Brew players who are, despite being very good, like kind of new to Brew. Or maybe like not as practiced. And no, so I don't really watch them because personally there's nothing I can really learn. I'm just gonna die here. I hate doing that. Holy shit. It's like, again, mad respect. Those guys are insane. They're way better at this game than I will ever be. It's just when you main a class like Brew, like I main Brew, so it's like hard for me to do that. So yeah. And it could be said the other way around. Yoda could probably sit here and say, holy shit, watching Shaw play Paladin fucking hurts my eyes, because I'm very bad at it. Because I am very bad at this class. I also, outside of that, I just also have a hard time watching other people play the game. Because I'm either streaming or I'm like making videos and I'm not really looking at what other players are doing. Holy shit. I'm just gonna bubble. He was in a real tight spot there. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, he's a self-proclaimed not great Brewmaster player, and he'll admit it. And not, you know, I think that's probably the coolest thing about players. I don't like when players get all cocky for no reason. They're like, I'm so good at that. It's like, no, man, you're not. People think they can multi-class well. I mean, you know. I'm speaking in general at this point. I'm not talking about Yoda specifically, but I've met people out there who are like, I can play anything, and then I watch them try to play anything, and they just fucking shit the bed. I had a thing like that in season 1. We very briefly tried to do some MDI practice, or TGP practice, I should say, and our warrior at the time was like, I could play enhanced, shit's easy, and then he logged over and he was fucking getting shit on. I was like, yeah, maybe you can't play it. Maybe you can't play it. It's all good though. It's all fun. Here he goes hard, low-key. See, BDK is a lot of fun to play. Like, it's very thematic. When you play BDK, you feel like a walking death god. And that's really fun. But when it's in a bad state like it is currently, it's, like, not great. Yeah, that's what I mean. Enhance is not easy. There are easy classes out there. There's always nuance. Like, I think Fury Warrior is easy to grasp. Like, it's a very low skill floor, like, barrier to entry. But to min-max Fury Warrior is kind of hard to do. There's a lot of, like, weird little nuance-y buffs that you have to manage. And if you, like, target swapping is a big thing. If you swap targets a bunch as Fury, you are doing so much less damage because of your Frenzy buff. And yeah, so, like, Enhanced Shaman in Season 1 had a lot of moving parts, and while it was meta and it did a lot of damage, it also required to play with a lot of different good classes. Like, you had to have an AUG, you had to have PI, you wanted like a prop paladin for the buffs too. And yeah, and then beyond that, it's like, even if the class is easy, it's still hard to be good at it, and if the class is hard, it's even harder to be good at it. And it's okay. It's okay if you're a player who, and I'm the same way. I'm bad at a lot of things in this game. But it's okay to be a player who's not good at stuff. Just don't act like you're good, you know? It's like, it's kind of the thing. Mythic Lily and Heroic Antenna. Huh. There's a couple of ways to look at it. Lily can be used potentially, depending on what you've upgraded so far. You can use it for crest saving. Heroic Antenna is very good, but there's also competitive trinkets that are better than it. All you know is you would have lusted. Yeah, that facts. So when we look at something like Brewmaster for Antenna, it's very good. It's a little, it's probably, I would say, on par with C4E and Pacemaker. There are times where you might miss it. An orb might spawn right when you finish up a pack in a Mythic Plus dungeon, and then you're running to the next and you miss it. Have a good night, Kit. Yeah, so Lily's like kind of okay. But like, I don't know. Lily's kind of awkward because it's a minute-and-a-half CD, which means that if you're playing Shadowpan, it might not line up, and if you're playing, or you're gonna sit on it a bunch if you're playing Master of Harmony. At the end of the day, if you want Antenna, I would take Antenna, but Lily's also not bad. It's 2 a.m. night. Yeah, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the sub. Astral is... Yeah, Astral's pretty good. And at the end of the day, if you really want a Lily in the future, you can, well, you can farm it from keys. But you can technically also buy it with Dinar. And so like trinkets are kind of a weird thing right now because we're going to have access to being able to buy them in the future. So it doesn't matter, in my opinion. Like, it's like, oh, well, in a couple weeks, you'll just be able to get any trinket you want. Yeah, sorry, I was like eating food. Well, chips. Hey, no problem. It's like, it's, Antenna's good. It's not best in slot, but a lot of people are running it. I'm pretty sure a lot of Brewmasters are playing it too. It's like not an unpopular choice. Maybe they're not. I don't like the inconsistency of Antenna because it can proc at different rates. If it's far away, close. If it procs like while you're kiting or while like you're moving to a next pack, it's kind of awkward. Where Improvise C4 and Pacemaker is consistent, and this is a non-use. And then I think Unyielding Nether Prism is going to be really strong by the end of the season. I'm hoping it drops tonight on in raid. There's also a world where it doesn't drop though, and that's fine. I take Antenna. It's also good for the other thing. Yeah, you're competing with every other DPS class and stuff in raid to get that trinket too. So if it comes in your vault, I would snag that so quick. Do you craft a 720 one-handed sword and go with Mythtrack one-hander? It's a temporary, I think, and in the grand scheme of things, not bad. It's not a bad option. It's a video game. Do what you want. if you're trying to gear your character to the maximum, ideally in the future, you probably don't want to waste the craft now on a one-handed weapon, because you're probably going to want to replace it with a two-handed weapon, ideally from your vault, ideally from the Arakar weapon. It's not a bad temporary gain though if you have good rings. If you don't have good rings, I would craft a ring before crafting a one-handed weapon, personally. But I think it's fine too. Like, it does, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The weapon damage that you're going to get from having like a 720 weapon, though, will be better than having like a heroic Arakara polearm, for example. It's not a bad choice. Yeah, if you haven't gotten a two-hander from your vault, it's not a bad idea, but you will ideally replace it in the future. If you link your character... Sorry, I'm eating with my mouth full. If you link your character, like your armory, I can look at your character and I can maybe have a little bit better advice. You've been stuck listening to a guildie complain about not winning in Tenor for the last 2 weeks? Yeah, that's every DPS, man. Oh shit, it's kind of late. I don't know if I'm gonna stream raid tonight. I'm like thinking about it. I kind of want to go get dinner before raid. And then I'm gonna maybe work on some videos afterwards for you guys for tomorrow. So I'm wondering if it's a go eat dinner angle. Yeah, food sounds real good. Hmm. How's Prop feeling? Prop's feeling good. You guys haven't seen a single brand drop yet? That's crazy. I feel like we've seen like 6 drop now. Brew has a crit cap of 39%. Like, that's where your first diminishing return is going to kick in at. Sorry, let me pull up your character really quick. I'm going to probably dip here in a second, but I'll do a quick little gear review. Also, I don't know why my multi-chat's not working. It's like not showing me guys. My thing's not working. I'll just do this. Your metal keg on EU Storm Rage. Oh, shit. And then we'll do this. Bam, armory. Okay, so you wanting to see... Your crit's really low. And you have a pretty beans weapon. Your rings are probably the best rings you can get for Mythic Plus right now. So you're probably actually safe to craft a weapon. Oh, you also have the fucking boots. I'm so jealous. Yeah, so I was thinking of these rings when I was thinking like, maybe he could craft a weapon if you had Nerubian and the Radiant. Because this is, like, there's no crit verse ring from this season, which sucks. But if you craft a weapon... Wait, what weapon do you have in your vault? Is it a crit? Does it have crit on it, I guess is my question. Yeah, Brain's good too. Because he doesn't have two sparks. When you craft Adrenal Surge and Brand, like, we only have one spark, so it's either like craft a one hand or wait for 2 weeks, which kind of beans. Crit verse. Oh, it's the Dawnbreaker sword, Sail Carver, or it's the hammer from the mace from Priory. Yeah, I might do a weapon in this case. Again, it's up to you. I think long game you'll probably eventually replace it. But it would be a damage gain for you to craft a 720 one-hander, put it in your main hand, and then having an offhand, both with crit verse on it. It'll significantly shift your stats. You'll go down to a normal percent mastery. Your crit will go up. Replace your gems. You're over cap on verse. You don't need this much versatility. You only need 30%. It DRs at 30. So some of your gems where you have versatility on them, you can trade them for like crit mass gems, or you can just go high crit low verse if you want to. I think probably crit mass is probably fine though. Get crit and verse on those two weapons and you'll be good. That's my recommendation. That's what I would do. If I was in this situation, I would probably just craft weapon. Because in reality, we don't have many crafts this season. We're mostly going to try to farm gear. And so realistically, it's like, well, you might replace the weapon, but at the end of the day, you're going to have infinite sparks to spend. So yeah, I'd craft weapon. Yep, 30, no more than 30%. After that, your mastery is going to be more valuable, and your crit's really low. You want crit around 30 to 33%. Is it worth using different colored gems for the speed boost? I guess, like, if you want to. What's up, Karen? Where's the Windwalker masterclass? Dude, I'm so bad at Windwalker. I don't think I could even do a series. It would be how to release spirit after dying, and then that would be it. That'd be in the entire video. Be a 1-episode series, 30 seconds long. Your release button when you hit the floor is right here. Hit this, cast Hearth, go play Club Penguin. That's the tech. Play Night for faster spirit. Yeah, yeah. Just stay dead. Just run around while you're dead. Club Penguin does fuck, yeah. DPSing after tanking for so long is a real struggle. Yeah. I'm really bad at DPS. Like I am, which is so funny because I'm an elitist, man. Like I'll be in a key, you know, Carrot will be blasting, but then I'll look at CL and CL will be kind of down bad. I'll be like, CL, why are you only doing 15 million damage instead of 18 million damage? And then I log onto my, like, any of my DPS and I'm doing like 6 mil damage. I'm like, okay, wait. maybe I'm actually really bad at the game. This is why I tank. I tank because I can't do damage anymore. I'm washed. I'll occasionally DPS on one of my classes to, like, humble myself, you know? Because in my head canon, I'm just like, I would be insane as a DPS. Brewmaster is, I do outdamage CL on a lot of pulls. Because in my head canon, I'm just like, yeah, I could do that. Yep. It's like watching someone do a backflip. I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And then I do a backflip and I break my neck. That's basically what, that's why I tank. That is another thing. I have big tank brain where I calculate how much damage I can take by standing and stuff as a tank, generally. And it's really funny when I do that as a DPS. And I just get absolutely humbled. It's the worst. Holy. Kind of insane. But sometimes you gotta get humbled, you know? Yeah, it's a healer mechanic, for sure. Yep. Yeah, me standing in that swirl, yeah, heal me. 30% without, yeah. So when you have, you would probably want to use a crit flask at this point, Mr. Metalhead. Also, what's up, Pain Sage? Yeah, send me your logs. As long as you're fine with me looking at it on stream. I'm going to be probably dipping here in the next 10 minutes or so, because I'm going to go eat dinner before raid. Just link it in chat, I don't really mind. Next time we're slamming keys, Carrot. If you want to give the dual stream on Twitch thing a try, we can do it if you want. I forgot to mention that the other day. I've done that before for sure. Yeah, Turbo asked me to try it once, and I wasn't streaming at the time, but yeah, if we're ever doing a key session, sharing the fame, yeah, a little bit, but also like, you know, oftentimes I'll have people come in here and be like, does the rogue stream? Does the warrior stream? Does your chicken soup stream? It's like, I don't know. I don't know if they're streaming right now. So here's the log. Oh my god, I thought you linked me my character for a second. Because I, like, not the Mog, but my Night Elf looks exactly like this. That's crazy. In Mythic? Okay, so Mythic's really weird. I wouldn't be discouraged. Like, you're looking at your heroic logs. Clearly, you know what you're doing. Your logs are really good. I think you actually have a better average than me. The problem with this, do you tank first or second? Because there is an odd number of, I believe there's an odd number of, like, runs you have to make as a tank. And if you're tanking the boss first, you have to run out more often. And if you're running out more often, you're going to lose that damage. So that is a factor. On the first set, there's, I believe, only one each tank has to take. And then after that, I believe it's 3 total. Maybe I'm wrong, actually. Maybe I'm misremembering it. You clearly know what you're doing because you're doing it in heroic. It's just, it also could be kill time. That's another big factor. If you're killing right after a Weapons of Order ramp versus not. Trinket damage also matters. You're running Brand and you're running Tome, so you have the Trinket set up. Your Rushing Jade Wind can be a lot better. It's only 65%. Like, this is actually a pretty significant amount of your damage. Like, these windows, like, obviously when you're running and you're playing the, like, the little mini game on Plexus Sentinel, you don't need to have it active, but when there's ads active and stuff, you can definitely make sure it's active. Like, you had it down for 30 seconds here. That's obviously a small gain. Another thing I like to look at is specifically, hold on. Are you over-capping your potential energy buffs? I forgot what it's considered. I thought it was like down here or something. So this is a big thing here. It doesn't look like you're capping, so that's fine. Are you casting Celestial Infusion frequently enough? You have some back-to-backs, which are good, but then you have a long window where you're not casting anything, and this is happening periodically throughout the fight. You want to try to use Celestial Brew a little bit more often, and then when you do that, you have more potential energy, which you can dump into more Tiger Palm casts to get more single target damage. Or you're... Wait. Are you not? You're playing Master of Harmony, right? Wait, why was that? That was weird. Oh, that was Cass. I'm dumb. Alright, am I back? Alright, I think I'm back. Yep, I'm back, kind of. But yeah, that's kind of like my quick advice. I can dig into this more, but Soulbinder's kind of the